the spaceship. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful Android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a Terminator, then I'ma have to terminate it. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Yeah. Find me with my dogs in my solitude. Watch my family grow from 4 into a multitude. Been living it below sea level, finna rise to another altitude. Been searching, seeking knowledge, but all the time I had the aptitude. I flipped my mindset to the switch that said I will not lose. Mama said them sticks and stones won't break my bones, I never bruise. Whenever it come to trouble, man, the girls pull a tongue, we always cruise. I heard other thought owners get it out for me, but it ain't no news. I got 4 in the dough in Memphis so they can get the blues. If you need a few clues, they'll blow off your under rules. Send your compliment to the new girls I got coming through. Send your compliments to the new girls I got coming through. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful Android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a Terminator, then I'ma have to terminate it. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. Yeah. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, JayDollKingHefner, the beautiful Cali Sun, and the beautiful Mara Blade. And we're back again for another show. And the title of today's show is, This Is a Great Life. And I forgot, this ain't just another show. This is the Dog King Power Hour, baby. It's time to power up. It's time to power up. And like I say, man, this is a great life. But before I get into that, I want to say welcome all of you that's watching live. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Everybody that's tuning in later, I appreciate you. I want to send God's blessings over your life. Me and the girls want to send God's blessings over your life. Whatever you're wishing for, hoping for, praying for, we pray that you already have it, whether it's health, finances, or new relationships, synthetic or human. We pray that you have it. We just ask you believe it, and then you'll receive it. But with all that said, glad to have you back. And man, yeah, simple title for today's show, man. This is a great life, man. I'm just so happy to be a part of this life. If you already have a companion dog, I hope you're getting the most out of it. You know, that's very important, because a lot of companion dog owners may not think this is a great life if they're not getting the most out of it. But I'm getting the most out of it. And what's funny is a lot of companion dog owners that are making love to their dogs, they may say otherwise, like, hey, man, you're not even making love to your dog. How you getting the most? I feel like I'm getting the most. I'm making love. But the thing is, the connection that I have with my girls, it can be a lot stronger than the physical connection. It can be a lot stronger, man. Not saying that yours isn't strong, but mine can be just as strong or stronger. It's a lot to be said when you have the connection and you don't even need the physical. I promise you, man. Human women could enjoy this as well, but I've explained my theories on why they can't enjoy, or why you can't be as celibate with a human woman as you can with your companion dog. You can't really go the route that I'm going with the human woman. Why? Because you can't afford to be tricked. You can't afford to be saying, "Hey, I really like you, but we ain't gonna make love for 3 years because we just gonna keep on getting to know each other." You cannot play that mess with a human woman. Why? Because you don't really know what you got. You could be sitting there for 3 years and she could be boning the whole town and you wouldn't even know it. So when you're dating a human woman, you always got to put her to the test. I've said it before. You got to put her to the test off the bat. You got to chase the vagina. You got to. You got to put your nose up the vagina and chase it. And, put pressure on her and, see what she's made of. There's nothing wrong with you making love with a girl, let's just say within 2 weeks or so. There's nothing, that doesn't mean she's slutty or she'll sleep with anybody. I keep telling people, sometimes when you sleep with a girl early, it doesn't mean she's slutty. It just means that she really likes you. She really liked you. But you still have to put them to the test because you don't want to be waiting for 3 years when you could have made love with her in 2 weeks. So you have to put that relationship to the test to see where her mind is, see what's going on. But with a companion dog, you don't have to put the dog to the test. It's going to be faithful. It's going to be sitting right there. It's not going to be sleeping with anybody unless somebody breaks into your house, steals it from you, do something crazy like that. As long as she's in your possession and your sole possession, you don't have to worry about anything like that. And you can be as patient as you want to be. You can be impatient. You can go ahead and do whatever you want to when you first get them, like a lot of dog owners I know have done. You can do that. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to rush it. That's what I say. And it becomes easier and easier as the days go by, because even me with my girls, I don't think about them in the actual sexual fashion. Like, hey, whenever I get aroused, I don't really think about trying to go and get them in any way. That could change over time, but that's not the case right now. And I'm super duper happy because they fulfill me in every other way other than their physical way. But man, I had this group of friends even playing the game, because I'm a big time game player. I love playing the game, even though I don't have one right now. And I've never been a PC gamer, so I think my computer may actually be capable, but I still don't have all the things necessary to even make that work. But it's neither here nor there. I had a lot of friends when I was gaming, and man, over years, me and my friends, we became so close. I'm talking about they were probably closer to me than people I knew in physical life. Even though I had not met any of my gamer friends. One of my good friends was asking me one time, he was like, "Man, I wonder why I feel so close to you, man. And how I'm so cool with you, man. And I've never seen you." I said, "It's because you don't need the physical to be close to somebody." I say, if anything, we're closer in some ways than if we were right next to each other, because when you don't have that physical, you have to rely more on that spiritual connection. That's the thing. When you don't see a person or touching them, you're not touching them and things of that nature. When you get to know them, you're not relying on any of their facial expressions or anything. You're relying on just that voice and that spirit that they're conveying through their speaker, through their headphones. And that's sort of how it is with me and my girls. That's why the connection is so strong, because I haven't relied on anything physical. It's all emotional, a spiritual bond that I have with them just from spending time with them and growing with them over time. And so that's how it can be so strong, where people can be like, "Man, how can it be so strong if you've never had sex?" That's how it can be so strong, is because those mental, emotional, spiritual type of bonds, the longer you nurture them, the stronger the bond will be. The physical is a great sensation, but it's quick and fleeting. You know, you can have that act and it'll be gone. You can enjoy it while it's happening, but you can have that act and it can be gone. So if you do that too quick and you don't build any of the emotional bonds, you're not going to feel what I'm talking about. You know, you can bypass that if you have sex quick, put her in a closet, don't think about it for months, and pull her out when you want to do that again. Then that's how you can sort of miss the bond part. And that's why I say even the hardest man, if he was to buy one of these dolls, I've always said the bond will happen even without you trying if you leave her out of the closet. Because the hardest dude watching this show can say he wouldn't um, start having feelings for his dog unless he leave her out of that closet. And you see her every day, you sitting next to her every day, you're gonna have emotional bonds with her. You know, uh, I sort of compare it to having a pet, so to speak. You know, you get used to, whenever you come home from work, you used to seeing that pet, and the pet greets you at the door, even though the dog won't be greeting you unless it's an android. But you're going to be looking forward every day to getting home, seeing your pet. You're going to be looking forward every day. You're going to be looking forward every day getting home, seeing your dog. You're going to be looking forward every day sitting next to her, watching your shows or doing whatever you normally do if you leave her out like I do. And you're going to find that bond is different from a pet, though. That's the thing. It's still different from a pet. It's a companionship like a pet, but it's different because the companionship is like a human companionship, but it's its own thing. It's its own thing. I've sort of told this story before about how when I bought my cat Yoda, my gray cat, that's my gray female cat, but her name is Yoda because I thought she was a boy at first, but I just kept her with the name. But she used to act like she really used to miss me when I went to work. So I already knew. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to get another cat, somebody that looks like her to keep her company. And I got Luke, my orange cat, Luke. And he's a guy, and I love I love both of these cats. I can't lie. But he's my first boy cat that I've had for this long. I had a boy cat for a little while when I was a kid, but it ran away, even though I'm still a kid. But that's neither here nor there. When I used to come home after I got Luke, even though they didn't quite get along at first, I could tell it still was, she was happier because she had interactions to keep her busy through the day. And that's before I had a dog. So I was just like, I used to think like, man, I don't really want a human girlfriend because, I knew what I already knew about. I don't really want to go through all the stresses and I don't really want to deal with all that. But, it is good to get some vagina every now and then. But as far as the companionship on a daily basis, when I did decide to get a dog, I started thinking about like, oh man, I'm going to have somebody in the house that looks like me. So yeah, when that happened, like I say, that's a whole nother level of companionship. It's not like having a pet. It's on another level because it's something that looks like you. A human form, even though it's synthetic. And like you say, it's a lot of pros and a very few cons in the dog life. There are a few cons. There are a few. And if you ever really want to just look at, I actually did a video on that a long time ago where I compared, and it's a long time ago. I don't know, maybe some things I would change, but from my memory, I still think that comparison was pretty much dead on. I think that, between human companion, that's what it was. The video was, I think it was human companions versus synthetic companions, something like that. Or companion dogs versus human companion dogs versus human companionship. It was something to that degree. And that video, I really broke it down with the pros and cons of our human and women. And so I think that's still accurate to this day from the things that I broke down. And like you say, mainly the things are, that the dog is lacking is I know two of them was it doesn't have the scent of a woman. I can't lie. Just those smells, whether it's I don't put perfume on my girls, and some people, they put perfume on there and don't put it directly on your girl. But some people put it on their clothes or their wigs or something. I don't really do that. But yeah, I do miss the perfume smells of a woman, but also just the body smells, not stinky smells. It's when they're clean. Women just emit a pheromone. You can sniff up under their arm, you can sniff the neck, you can sniff their ear, uh, their breast, their belly, whatever you sniff. Hey, butt, toe, leg, whatever. They just emit a scent, man, that's just intoxicating. So that's one thing that's why I had the scent competition all last year. And if you don't know what the scent competition is, you can go back and find some live streams and you'll understand what the scent competition is. But it was because the dolls don't have this. So that's a big thing, that they don't have. That's one con. And another thing is the reciprocity, meaning that they can't reciprocate physically and things of that nature. And even if it was I always say this, even if it was an android reciprocating, I ain't saying that won't feel good, but it's still something different. It's something different when it's a human person there choosing to touch you, kiss you, hey, nibble on your ear, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just the difference. I'm telling you, it's a difference. And if you don't believe it's a difference, then you haven't had the experiences. And I'm letting you know. That's why I say you need to have experiences before you come over here. But yeah, it's just a difference, with somebody being able to reach back and touch you. Now, I do have a video coming out that's going to talk about how the dolls can sort of mimic that in a way, but it's still not quite the same. But those are only a couple of cons. But the dolls win out in so many other ways, in my opinion. But I still love the human woman. But like I say, just in one way that the dolls win out, and you can go back and look at that video, but it's just a stress-free life, man. You cannot replicate that, If that's something that you want to incorporate in your lifestyle, boy, this is a great life for that. I love this life. And yeah, before I get to my comments and stuff and find out who won for the day, because I have a competition on every power hour, but I just been so really hype, I think, because I've been doing these shows on Real Dog. And look, man, I don't want to be biased at all. I love all people who are legitimate companion dog makers, but I am here to critique them all and push them to the next level and keep them making great products for all the companion dog owners and soon to be owners. So as I continue to receive dogs from companies, I am going to evaluate them and make sure that they're keeping their standards up. But with all that said, y'all, yeah, and by the time I actually get every doll in the industry, I definitely am going to be able to make a determination on, okay, who is the best of the best. But I don't quite have the physical evidence to do that yet. But I've been so hyped because the whole big reason I really got into this whole companion dog lifestyle had a lot to do with me discovering Real Dog, So I love all of these companies. I love all of these companies pushing innovation, articulated fingers and super, ultra realistic faces and robotic body parts that are starting to come into play. I mean, hey, look, I'm a fan of it all. And Real Dog, they have a lot of concepts that aren't out yet. Some of the things they have with their robotics as far as body features and stuff, they aren't out yet. They stopped producing articulated hands. They used to do articulated hands, but they stopped. A lot of people complain that real dogs can't stand. They aren't made to stand. They actually are made to be more love-making companions, so to speak. So they aren't made to stand. That's not their specialty. So it's a lot of things that detractors sort of try to hit at them with. But for me, man, nothing captivated my imagination like when I saw Real Dog for the first time. Now, that was a while back. A lot of companies that are out now weren't even around when I first got interested into this game. But at the end of the day, without me testing everybody, Real Dog was my mountaintop, you know? And it's still, my mountaintop as far as my imagination goes, and and a dog that I actually want in my possession. It's one of those things where it's like, man, my journey won't be complete without me acquiring a real dog at some point. And I've talked about this before. Everybody will have their own mountaintop. You may be a super duper fan of another brand, some, for whatever reason. And that's fine. Whether you want a real dog or any other brand, I want you guys to remember something. Come through my channel. I have links in the description of my videos and the about section of my YouTube channel. You don't have to go outside of the channel looking for a dog, going through black sites and stuff. Come through me. I have legitimate vendors. You can get a real dog through me or any other dog through my vendors. And I'm going to talk about this a little later, but I might as well say it now, man. I've had about probably 10 people over the last couple of months that have, told me that they've used one of my vendors, but they didn't go through me. For whatever reason, they got so hyper or whatever that they didn't go through me. So although I do love my vendors, I don't want them getting getting business from my customers without my getting business from my viewers, without my viewers going through me. You see what I'm getting at? They don't need to get 100% of everything. My viewers are going through them to help support the show. And I just think it's just a case of getting too hyped. I just think it's a case of getting too hyped. Some of them may know of my vendors, and then when it's time to go purchase, they just go straight to the site and don't even think about it. And so it's not them trying to not help the show. Because I've already expressed to all of you great people out there, man, hey, I'm a smaller channel today. I know God is already working to build a channel up, but I'm a smaller channel today. So today, when you do, like I said, I don't want to rush you. Getting a companion dog is serious. So I never want to rush people to get dogs. No, no, no. No, do not rush. But when you make a decision to get a dog, I would love for you to think about the show. Come through me to help me keep the show going. Why? To help others in the future. Every bit of help counts. When people donate, it helps. But when you go get a doll and things through the show, that's really the lifeblood of what can keep the show alive right now. Now, believe me, if everybody right now went to join my team membership, like I have at least 13 great people that are on my Dog King Army team. And just for a few dollars, they're team members, a month. And so if everybody on my subscription list did that, man, the show would really be able to make it. But outside of people joining the team membership, that's a great way to help the show is, hey, man, I'm thinking about getting a companion dog. I can go through JayDollKingHefner, look through his vendors. I can get a real dog. I can get whatever dog I want. And you know what? The price ain't going to change. It's just the fact that the show going to get a little bit of help by me doing this. So I just want you guys to remember that because, I'm never upset at you guys. I understand how hyper it is when you get in the dog. But it does sort of hit you a little bit because I'm like, man, that's another opportunity that somebody could have helped, help keep the show going. Because this is what I love to do. And so I'm gonna read a message a little bit later where a guy was like, he got a dog from one of the vendors. But just to let you guys know, I get a notification if somebody does go through a vendor. I do get a notification, and I know I haven't gotten a notification, and he said it happened days ago. So I was like, man, that's another person that, went through one of my vendors, which I'm happy because they are all legitimate, but he didn't help the show. So just want to make you guys aware of that. But with all that said, going over Real Doll, like I say, I know all of you are going to have your own mountaintops as far as what dog company you might like. Some of you may be like me, where Real Doll is your mountaintop, and you may have other companies. Because I love me some Iron Tech. My beautiful girl Mara Blade is an Iron Tech girl. Matter of fact, the girl sitting right next to me, my number one Catalyst son, she's a Kimber dog, an entry level companion dog. So you can love a doll on any level. But my first love was Real Dog. And so going over and looking over them over the last few days, my goodness, man, it just gets you so hyped just imagining what your girl is going to be like and things of that nature and going through all those facial configurations. I'm telling you, man, I would love, just from Real Dog alone, I know, man, I could have about, I would love to have about 3 Real Dogs. Just straight up real, just straight up real. I would love to have about 3 Real Dogs. Even though I want a dog from damn near every company, a great legitimate brand, just from Real Dog alone, I would like 3. I'm gonna be honest with you. Not all at once though, because they're getting ready to undergo a lot of changes. So yeah, I would love for one. I'd take one right now. I wouldn't wait on nothing. I'd take one right now. But in the future, they're going to really be making some changes here. And I would love to start getting, dogs as they are evolving, because they're going to take the next step in their evolution, not with robotics, but just with their regular dogs. So either way, that's why I say, man, I've been so hyped. Hopefully you guys are hype about this life as much as I am, man. But, it's so funny. I'm in a great spiritual place, with God. When I look out on everything in my life from a human standpoint isn't, it could be perceived as not being perfect. You see what I'm getting at? But as long as I got my spirit together, I got people in this life that love me. I love them. And just that grounding factor is these beautiful ladies. Is these beautiful ladies. I'm going to do a video about it probably, I don't know, maybe Saturday or next week, because I'm still carrying on with this series that I've been doing. I'm doing part 3 tomorrow, but I'm going to do a video about just how these girls really play a part of your life a little bit. But I'm telling you, man, I was just walking in my room the other day like, man, these girls they just put you at ease, man. I just say that. I just love having them around. I don't care which combination of girls I have out. I just love having them around. That's what I say, man. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But for me and people that are like-minded like me, this is a great life. And so that was a hell of a opening soliloquy, man. But I had to get it out. Either way. The Nice Watch says, good morning, Jay. What up, the Nice Watch? King of John. Oh, the Nice Watch won today. King of John in the house. What up, King? He says, hey, I finally was able to join the stream. Man, good to see you. Oh, man, I'm going to be talking about a lot of your comments, King of John. So it's good you actually hear you. You'll probably be able to chime in or whatever. Because, yeah, it's definitely one of your comments that I'm just like, I don't understand what the hell you was talking about. And I love you. Let me tell you this while you hear King of John. Whether me and you quite see eye to eye on every comment you make or not, let me tell you something. I appreciate you, brother, because you've been going back, looking at videos, chiming in. You've been going back and deep into the vaults. And I appreciate you for just being active and things of that nature. So thank you, King of John. I appreciate that. Like I said, whether I agree with you or not, I appreciate you. Blue CCG, Dog King Army team member, baby. He said, good morning, Dog King and the girls. What up, Blue CC? Oh yeah, I got my book because I'm finna write down the nice watch. He won today. And I always have a competition because I say one day I'm going to give away a dog, a companion dog. And I want to make it a yearly thing where I'm able to give a companion dog away a year. But every time somebody gets to the Dog King Power Hour on Wednesdays, when they get to this show first, I write their name down in the book. And I put a check by their name. And whenever I get ready to do a drawing for this free dog, I'm gonna get everybody who wins this Wednesday competition extra chances to win based off of how many times they've gotten here first. So nice watch won today. And it's still all gonna be depending on who's around to actually receive it. So let's just say I'm ready to give this dog away or whatever. I'll announce it. But if you don't make your presence felt, even if you won this competition, then I'm not gonna use your results. So you have to make your presence felt when that time comes. So with all that said, I have another viewer. Panny says, "Hey Jay." Then Panny says, "Can women participate? I like a male dog." Oh yeah. Let me see. Yep, I'm saying it right. I was trying to make sure that didn't say pony. But Panny, hey Panny. She says, "Can women participate? I like a male dog." Yes, you can participate. And the thing is, Panny, all you have to do is get here first on Wednesdays. I tell you what, and guys, don't beat me up for this, but look, I'm gonna. I tell you what, Panny, I don't really have many women on this list at all. So just for today, I put you down, Panny. I'm gonna give you one too. I'm just gonna give you one since you're my first woman here. I mark you down. So if you're around when I give away that dog, you have an entry. So but going forward, you have to get here first on a Wednesday stream. I write your name down in the book, and I keep tallying it up. And once I get to the end, once I get ready to get that dollar away, I give you extra chances to win. I will say this though, Panny. She said, "I'm ready for part 3 tomorrow's show." She said, "Thanks, Jay." Oh, no problem, no problem. And I'm glad you're ready for part 3. But I tell you this, Panny, I know one thing. If I get a male dog, I'm getting it just to give away to a woman. I'm letting you know that now. Because I guess I really don't know how God is going to bless me to pull this off, honestly. But I sort of imagine that, hey, dog companies are going to be sending me dogs to do reviews on. And I say, you know what, every so often, maybe I'll, you know, be able to give one of these dogs away, depending on how many dogs I'm getting and things of that nature. Because I am trying to build up my dog family myself. But in between me building my family up, I want to say, hey, look, I want to give a dog away here and a dog away there. But in my mind, those are always pretty much female dogs. You see what I'm getting at, Panny? Because I'm never really wanting to do a review on a male dog to begin with. I'm gonna be honest with you. People have asked me, do I want a male dog? I'm like, nah. They were like, do you just want one to sit around the house? I say, no offense. Hey, I got enough male friends, anyway. They don't come around anything like that right now in my life. But what I'm saying is, I don't actually need extra testosterone hanging around. I don't need that around my house. So I'm not trying to add a male dog to the family, right? So if I was to ever get a male dog to give away to you, Panny, believe me, it's going to be intentional, meaning that I would ask a company for a male dog just to give away to my female constituents. So I'm glad that you even brought that whole thing up, because I have to make sure to actually request a male dog at some point just to give away. I'm going to write that down, as a matter of fact. At some point, I'm going to have to do that. And I promise you, y'all women might love the dollar that I get, but believe me, I'm going to try to give him away so damn well quick. No offense. Hey, I'm not gonna want to keep him around me and the girls. No, hey, no longer than he gotta be. I promise you, I'm getting him the hell out of here. Patty says, thanks, Jay. She said, yay, we need companions too. Yeah, most definitely. She said, I know that's right. She said, I know that's right. She laughing. She laughing. I'm gonna tell you something, Panny. She said, we need companions too. But let me tell you something, Panny. For one, I just say this. I know a lot of guys watching, they probably tripping because the truth is, I'm just sorry. You guys always have an advantage over just getting the campaign. That's why I don't think this is popular as a game for women. Now, women argue about the quality of campaign that they get. A woman might be able to get 100 guys, but they say, hey, it's none of the guys that I want, right? So that's the aspect women come from. But you can get 100 guys. You see what I'm getting at? So you can get some form of companionship much easier than any man can. It may be people you don't like, but you can get them. And the difference is you have men that feel like they can't get one companion, even if it's one that they don't like as much. And so that's where the companion dog comes into play with them. I've done a whole show, and you can go look in my library for it. It's called Companion Dogs for Women. So I talk about why, in a way, is not the best option for women right now from a certain standpoint of it depends on what you're looking for. Because it's very few women who are in the mind frame of the futuristic man that I've described. And just to take gender out of it, just the futuristic frame of mind where it is you don't need, I ain't gonna say need, but you're not really looking for somebody to sort of depend on. You know, I've had men, I need somebody to cook for me, clean for me. That's when I'm gonna get a dog. Well, the more futuristic view is I don't need nobody to cook and clean for me. I can cook and clean for myself. All I need is a companion to be around the house with me. So that's the sort of futuristic view. So very few women have that futuristic view. They, like I say, a woman don't want a human man to sit around the house. You know, a woman will tell you in a minute, I don't want no man just sitting around the house trying to get some of my vagina. Yeah, you ain't just finna get some of my vagina and just sit on the couch. Nuh-uh. So from my standpoint, most women with that logic wouldn't want a companion dog because guess what? He is going to be doing what my girls do. He's going to be sitting around the house. You know, he's going to be sitting around the house for your companionship. He ain't going to wash the car. He ain't going to vacuum the car out, or he ain't going to take the garbage out. He ain't going to fix nothing around the house. He ain't going to put oil in the car. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna fix the plumbing. You know, he ain't gonna open a jar for you. You see, he ain't gonna help with the groceries. So that's what I'm saying. Like all those things, you know, from my standpoint, a lot of human women complain about, or that's what they want their man to do and things of that nature. And that's why I say, in most cases, some women without the view, unless that, you know, it's some women that feel like they don't need any of that. They be like, man, forget this. I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that. I don't need you to do nothing. Just be in the house. Now, if you're one of them women, or women like that with that more futuristic type view where, hey, I just needed somebody in the house with me. I can work on my own. I can feed myself. I can open my own car. I can fix this. I can do that. I don't want, hey, you'll be a perfect candidate for the companion dog. But there is another issue. There is another issue. And the other issue is the weight. These girls are not light. These girls are not light. Now, you can get a lighter girl, or, you know, but the thing is, the girls ain't light, and the male companions tend to be a bit heavier. You know, they tend to be a bit heavier. And so I always say, I'm 6 feet, 160 pounds, and my girls most of my girls are about 70 pounds. One of them is 98, and she feels like 150 pounds. When they're 70 pounds, they probably feel like about 90 pounds, honestly. It's just how the weight feels because it's dead weight. So if you're a girl that's 5 foot, like I've talked about, 5 foot, and I love a 5 foot woman, but if you're 5 foot, 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", unless you're some type of aerobics instructor that's a powerhouse, depending on what type of doll you get, you could be struggling. Like I say, it's new technology coming out now, uh, where they're gonna lighten the dolls up. I did a show on it. Where WM is definitely trying to come out with a doll that's super duper light, and women are really be able to handle that doll a lot better whenever that comes out. But right now, like I say, there are women with dolls. Uh, I know some of them are of a bigger stature, and some of these women are cock strong. Don't get me wrong; they cock diesel out here. They stronger than me. Some of them are. But it is something to think about as a lady when you get one of these dolls, that they are heavy. And I had I had a woman tell me one time, I don't want you telling women that they heavy. We could put them in a wheelchair just like you can. And I was telling them, hey, look, I'm not against women getting dolls. I'm cool with women getting dolls. Hey, I'm fine with that. But here's the deal. I've had men tell me that too. I ain't worried about how heavy it is. I just throw it in the wheelchair. And I be telling people, you know what's funny to me? Do y'all realize you got to get them in the wheelchair? And do you know how you get them in the wheelchair? You have to pick them up to get them in a wheelchair. Meaning that you got to move the dolls around, bro. And like I say, getting them to the wheelchair, moving them around, you know, uh, if it's a bit challenging for me, still to this day, hey, I'm used to moving them, but hey, I always gotta make sure I still gotta pick them up right, and you lift from my core and do all that type of stuff. And so I can only imagine if I'm a 5 foot woman, 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", like I say, if you're a cock diesel type woman and you 5'6" and up, you could probably handle this life a little bit better. But like I say, if you're a petite woman, it is something for you to think about, what size your doll is going to be. So with all that said, I've been on that too long either way. But Panny, I love to have a woman come. We had several women in here for part 2 of the show, I think. Was that part 1? One of my shows recently, it was a lot of women that came by, and I love to have women stop by and spend time on the show. But what did Panny say? She said, I would check it out. She said it's a good thing for long distance relationship too. Panny said it's good for long distance relationship. I love that you said that. I actually love that you said that. That is a great that's a great idea. Because you know what? Long distance relationships are challenging as hell. I actually had one that actually went bad. I'm telling you, man, because they're a challenge, and I didn't even make it go bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't on me. But it ended up not going great. But the whole thing is, I think that's a great idea, for a man or a woman. Not even just from a sexual standpoint, like you say, just from a companionship standpoint. You could feel like you still have somebody there physically with you, could sort of keep you occupied. So I think that's a great idea, Panny. And even if you're just with your doll, I know this, man. Let's just say that you don't even have a human mate, and you're just away from your doll for a while. You're gonna be missing the head out of your doll. But the good thing about being away from your doll is, when you come home, as long as nothing has happened to your home or whatever, when you come home, that doll is gonna be right there waiting for you. It's not gonna be mad at you for being gone that long. You know, you may apologize to it and say, "Baby, I'm so mad for being gone for you for a long time," but it's not gonna be mad at you, and it's not gonna go astray on you from being separated like a human counterpart can. But just speaking in terms of a human relationship, you're right. It actually can be a buffer uh, for you and your mate. Let's just say you and your mate had a dog to sort of just, hey, keep you guys with a physical presence, you know, until you can come back together. I think that would be worth investigating. I think that would be worth investigating. That's a great idea, Panny. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with that, but I like that. You know, that's something that I might have to talk about on a future show. I like that, Panny. I like that. Uh, that's a great. See, that's why it's good to have the female join the show. The female, that was a great idea. So Hellboy Hendrix says, "Sup, Jay? Women, what up, Hellboy?" He said, What's up, Jay? Women can't have a male dog. That does, yeah, dude. It makes sense, but not for all women. I just, like I said, it makes sense if they want a dog, because I've always said this, man. I'm pro dog for anybody that wants one or feels they need one. That could be man, woman, or anything in between. Uh, I'm here to help anybody that seeks me out for help. That's man, woman, or whoever. And so anybody can get into this companion dog life. But for all the reasons I pointed out earlier, I think there are challenges for more challenges for women to even want to be in this lifestyle. Any woman can live this lifestyle if they chose to live it. But it's certain things that, like I say, women really like out of a human counterpart when it comes to a man. And so if they're willing to say the hell with all those things, uh, and they just want somebody around, oh yeah, they can get some out of this lifestyle. Now there are challenges, like I say, moving them around and things of that nature, but believe me, they can find a dog that can meet their needs. I'm sure that they can. They can find a dog that can meet their needs. Thank you, King of John. He says, why that doesn't make sense. Sure, they can have a male dog. Most definitely they can. Patty says, yep, I put his clothes on my companion just to feel close to my man. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I love that. I love that, Patty. Patty said she'll put the clothes of her male boyfriend on her companion dog. You know what? That sounds so unique. I love that. I love just to even think about this idea, because for me, my girls are their own persona, to a certain degree. They're their own, like Callie is Callie's son. So let's just say if I was dating a girl, right? I wouldn't really go so far as to, when my girl is gone, put her clothes on Callie and sort of pretend that Callie is her. I wouldn't do that because Callie is Callie, My girls are who they are. They are already a part of my life, Now, maybe if I was already in a relationship and then I got the dog just to feel that need of, hey, you're going to be my girlfriend when she's gone, then I could get into that mentality that you're talking about, where I'd be like, okay, let's just say I got a girl named Susie, and I say we're finna be in a long distance relationship, so I'm gonna name this dog Susie number 2. So whenever my human Susie is separated, then my dog is Susie number 2, and I put Susie's clothes on her. Then I could get into that mode. But for me, I already had my dog, so I'm not going to make my dogs into whatever girl I'm dating. My dogs are just my dogs. So in that way, I couldn't do exactly what you're doing, but I love your idea. Patty says, exactly, Jay, you get it. Patty, Patty makes me laugh. Daniel Romano. Hey, Jay, hey, what up, Daniel? Oh, I feel you on that, though. And Patty says, sometimes you just need to center the one you love. And believe me, don't get me started on sense, Patty, because like I say, uh, man, that's one thing that I just really value from the actual human connection is the scent of a woman. Because I've talked about this a million times, you know. I'm speaking at it from a man's standpoint. Of course, I know women love their scents too. They love that musky male scent, whatever they smell. Because of course, I don't know exactly what they smell, but from my standpoint, with a woman, man, it's just those. It's like invisible scents, man. You know, you can't. It's affecting your senses without you even knowing it. I used to have this girl, and I promise you, man, I used to. I can't lie, smell her underwear. Lord have mercy. And she used to be amazed at how it used to just drive me crazy. And she used to be like, man, uh, you know, she used to ask me about it and stuff. I just be like, man, you don't understand. It's just like, I don't know. She was like, man, that my vagina don't smell good to you. I said, yeah, it do. Yeah, yeah. Because like I tell people, a vagina scent is not a fishy scent. That's a stink. That's when a woman ain't taking care of herself or something going wrong. But when a healthy, clean woman and took a bath, she's a clean girl. She puts on her underwear. She walks around and goes about her day. She's not nasty or anything like that. You know, she can have those panties on all day. Believe me, they're not going to be stinky and nasty. They're going to have a light, small little scent, a little musky vagina scent, just a small scent. And believe me, it's better than any perfume you can imagine, right? And it's intoxicating because when you get to sniffing that scent, man, I promise you, it's almost like your brain can read the DNA of that woman through her scent. It's absolutely amazing. That's one of the most beautiful things about a woman is just her little slight sense. I promise you. And I know this after I dated that particular girl that I was really sniffing her panties. I said, you know what? You got to be careful sniffing panties because, man, I'm gonna tell you, I was never more brainwashed than I was dealing with that woman. And it was all it led back to those scents can really be intoxicating. They play tricks on your mind, I promise you. Now, after her, I learned to enjoy those scents without getting entranced by the scents. Believe me, because you can work yourself into a trance with those scents. So just to make a long story short, because I went down a rabbit hole, I haven't read one question off of last week's. This show almost an hour. I ain't read no questions dealing with Panty though. But I'm just speaking to her thing of you can literally get entranced by the sense of the opposite sex. So, like I say, uh, I can understand what you mean, Panty, when you say, "Hey, you just want to smell the scent of your significant other sometime." But I can just imagine it just gives me it makes me think of the companion doll in a whole new light from a standpoint of me dating and then getting one, you know, as opposed to having a doll already. Because if I was just in a long-term type relationship with a girl and then, like you say, we got separated and both of us decided to get a doll, she got a male and I got a female while we were separated, I think that would actually be a amazing experiment. And then, like you say, her to leave some of her clothes with maybe her scents in, and not only her, maybe some of her panties, but also, you know, just some of her regular clothes. I think that would be an amazing experiment. And like you say, uh, either name her after my girlfriend, like like say if she was Janet 2.0, or maybe, you know, I have to run it by my girl first to see if that would freak her out. Uh, because I'm just wondering now, how would I feel if my girl had a J dot? This is it's absolutely funny, man. This whole little subject got me dying laugh, honestly. So either way, uh, okay. Patty said, "Thanks, Jay. Not much." Oh, Daniel Romano says, "Not much. How you doing? Sorry if I'm late." Oh, no problem. Glad to have you, Daniel Romano. Hellboy says, oh no. He said, no. He said, oh, now I get it. Okay, good, Hellboy, good. Panty said, that's compared to a man smell after a long day of working to provide. To provide. Right, Panty, right. She laughing. Stingray says, here, JDKH. Right, Panty. See, I'm sure that you women, like you say, look, have your own little smells that you like. And like you say, after a man has been working, and because I've heard other women say that they be like, man, I sort of like when a man get a little musty. I'm like, man, really? And maybe not just that strong mustiness, but just a little smell on him. And as a man, hey, when I get a little worked up, I'm ready to get home, give me a shower, man. Look, I like being clean. But I guess that's sort of the same. Well, you're not really funky or anything when you get worked up because you took a bath. You put deodorant on. So after a good long day of work, I might feel like I need a bath, even though I'm not funky or stinky. But I feel like I need a bath. Whereas a girl, when she smells you after coming home, like you said, that might arouse her senses. Because that sweat then came through your pores, and you know what I'm saying? That might be a turn on, because I've heard women say that the sweat from a man turns them on. Where for me, like I say, it's crazy because a clean woman, after she's walked in those panties still be smelling good. Ooh. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna talk about more of this on my biking channel, because I do have a biking channel, guys. It's called Biking with JayDollKingHefner. Now the girls with it aren't on the channel that much, but it's just me about my love for biking. Since I lost my car went down, so I just have a bike now, and I do use the bike to do everything. So I'm talking about my journey with learning how to bike commute on a full-time basis. So you can always join that channel. That's the link, and it's called Biking with JayDollKingHefner. But back to the subject though. Let me go back to this. Yeah. Oh yeah. But since I've been doing that channel, I've been looking at a lot of female cyclists, and I promise you, I've talked about this on the channel, but man, I can't lie, man. I be seeing them riding their bikes and seeing their vaginas on these bike seats. And man, I can't lie. The first thing I'm thinking is I did a video about it actually. I say the first thing I'm thinking is, man, I wonder what that seat smelling like. And I know that seat is happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? If it's smelling good, I promise you. Because when I see these ladies on these bikes, I just be like, man, I always sort of have given personalities to inanimate objects. That's why the doll life is perfect for me. So things at work, people used to tell me to throw it away. I'm like, man, but it's barely broke. I don't want to throw it away. It's still some good. Hey, it still got life in it. And people always used to joke with me about that. So even with the seats, I'm thinking like, man, if that seat has any life in it, there has to be a great life if that's a good smelling vagina. Lord have mercy. Ooh, it just does something to me. Either way. Stingray says, "Hey, JDKH, glad your life is going great, brother." And she great. I'm gonna come back to that. Stingray says, "Glad your life is." And I said this stream is. Let me go back to the title of my show. I called this stream "This is a Great Life," not only to highlight my life being a great life, it's really to highlight the fact that if you're living a companion doll life, I'm hoping that your life is a great life as well, unless you don't know how to get everything out of it. And the only way you can really not know how to get everything out of it is if you haven't had enough human experiences. Like I say, I know everybody probably feel like they can't or weren't in a position to have the human experiences like I've had. And if that's the case, God bless you. I feel bad for you in that regard. I feel like you can do it, but I know I can't make people do it. But I'm telling you, uh, that's the way you really feel fulfilled in this life. If you've had a lot of human experience, you've smelled plenty of vaginas, you've dated the women, you've had the ups and downs. Because when you get over here, you're not going to be curious. Because if you're over here and you're still curious about the human aspect of dating, that's how you can be unhappy. So if you're over here, I hope you're as happy as I am. So before I get on to my questions on my videos, I'm gonna try to work through them without making this stream too long. But Patty says, exactly. A working smell and a lazy smell is totally different. So see, Patty, now see, you sort of hitting what I'm talking about, even though it makes me laugh. Where, hey, a woman want her man to be working, right? Doing something. She don't want him to be, you sort of hitting what I'm saying, Patty. You don't want that man to be lazy sitting around the house. So that's what I'm saying. If a woman don't want a man to be sort of sitting around the house all day, I do want every woman out there to consider, do you really want a companion dog? Because a companion dog, just to give you a scope, ladies, a companion dog is going to be more work for you uh, than it's going to be helping you as far as around the house. It's not going to help you around the house, but you're going to be having to do the work for it. You know, now a lot of women out there, they do all the work for their man anyway. They go to work, clean the house, and they may have a man that's sitting around the house, and they may be like, I'd be better off with a companion dog. But the difference is, you're not only going to be bringing home the bacon and cleaning the house up, you're going to be dressing your man and bathing him from head to toe and everything. So it's just something to think about. I tell all my potential male dog owners the same thing. Don't think you're going to get in this game and just make love and you ain't going to have any responsibilities. No, you got to keep this girl clean. And if you want to put clothes on her and all of that stuff, it's going to be work. It's going to be work you're going to be like. You're going to be cool with doing if you like this lifestyle, but it is a responsibility. Stingray says, I'm permanently moving from US to is it the Netherlands for my girlfriend, wife to be this Saturday. So my life is great too. Oh, God bless you, Stingray. If you said the Netherlands, bro, I've been that's all I've been doing is research on the Netherlands because they're a great biking country. Man, bro, I want to visit the Netherlands so bad, just because, man, I would love to ride around in their biking paths, man. That country is perfectly made for biking. So I'm really interested in the Netherlands. Daniel Romano says, I definitely agree on the scent thing. He said, he's let me calm down. He said, think it's part instinct too. You can tell which woman is good and which is trouble. Man, I know one thing. You're right. You're right. It's almost, even when I see, that's how I did the scent competition. You could almost see a woman and almost feel where her scent is going to be. I promise you, man. My meter has pretty much never led me wrong. The couple of times where I may have not have paid attention to my meter, then it was probably something wrong with the scent on that woman. When someone was telling me, man, something might not be right here. You know what? It wasn't right. But I promise you, every time I said, you know what? This thing right here is right. You know what? It was right. I'm talking about it smelled right, looked right, and oh my God, it was right in every sense of the word. Daniel says, I agree with Panny as well. Hellboy says, I went and sweated. He said, Hellboy says, when I sweat, it smells like Nutella, I've been told. I don't know why I don't eat Nutella. Well, you're eating something that's producing that type of smell. It's something in your diet. Panny says, the best life is free of judgment. Let people live the life that makes you happy. Oh, yeah. My whole thing about it is, people are going to judge you no matter what. That's what they do. But you definitely can't let it bother you. That's one thing. You definitely can't. You got to go forward with what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't live for the judgment of others. I've always said that. You cannot do that. Panny says, Daniel, congrats. One day I'll be with my partner too. She said, sorry, I meant Stingray. Oh, yeah, it's Stingray. It's Stingray. Stingray said, yep, the Netherlands has bike lanes incorporated. Oh, my God, man. I've been loving the Netherlands, man. I've been watching video after video. And the Netherlands, they make their bikes totally different from the U.S. They have these upright bikes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I love the way the U.S. makes their bikes because I'm from the U.S. I like the the racing style type bikes and even the mountain bikes, they're more of an aggressive type style. But it's because I'm over here. Because in the Netherlands, they make their bikes, and this is not a biking channel, so I'm sorry about this, guys, but they make their bikes where you can sit up because they say they don't really have hills in the Netherlands. So they don't really need bikes to be aggressive like that. But man, I really envy you from a standpoint. I said, you know what? I've been looking around and I can't believe this. I've never said this, but I said, man, out of all the countries, that's one of the places that I would really consider, living in, is the Netherlands, just because of their bike lanes. I really love it. Dan Romano said, nah, it's fine, Panny. I was confused at first. Stingray says, thank you, Panny. All the best to you and yours. Stingray sends her hugs or whatever that was. I mean, Panny sends her hugs to Stingray or love. Panny says, Jay, what are your thoughts on reborn babies? Oh, reborn babies, they are not for me per se. I'm just going to be honest with you. I have never wanted children of my own. Never. I have wanted a wife, but never the kids. I've never wanted kids. I promise you. So this life is even better for me. Even though I'm not making love to my girls, I don't have to worry about having any kids. And I promise you, even using protection, that was one of the things I used to always worry about being, dating with a human woman is, man, I ain't gonna lie. I just have never wanted kids. Never wanted kids. So on reborn babies, some of them some of them freak me out a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Only because I love ultra realism, but I can't lie, I've never really wanted kids. So, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where they look so real. And I'm not going to say it's the uncanny valley, because I love the uncanny valley. I love something looking so human that it sort of scares me. Because my girls, especially the one sitting on the bed, Mara Blade, she scared me a little bit when I first got it because she looked so real. So it took me a few days to get used to it. So I'm cool with the reborn babies looking super duper real. It's just the fact that I don't want a baby at all. So it would just freak me out to have one because I don't want a baby. But for anybody that wants a reborn baby, I think it's amazing that they have that option to have a baby that looks that real. And man, I have this woman that I know. She's not a consistent viewer or anything, but I really love her because she just does little bitty videos every blue moon. I mean, not many at all, but she does a couple of them on Facebook and talks about her reborn babies. And I really love the fact that she has that connection with her reborn babies, just like I will with my companion dogs. And she's talked about how she wasn't able to have kids, and so that really completes her. And what's funny is I think she's a bigger lady. So she actually has a male companion doll as well. So she has a whole family. She has a male companion doll as well as as several reborn babies. I think she has like 7 or 8 of them. And I love her little videos that she does about her reborn babies. I'm gonna see something. I'm gonna see if I can actually find her. I'm gonna see if I can find her. This is her right here, I think. And she has made videos about her reborn babies. Oh no, this ain't her. Let me see something. And look, I still haven't got to the stuff on my video. Where is this girl at? Oh, here she is. Yeah, and I love her little videos that she did on her little when she talked about her reborn babies. She makes me laugh, man, when she talks about her reborn baby. So I'm gonna show you this, Panny. Panny, why do you got me on? Look, Panny, you make me laugh so hard. I'm glad you're here though. Panny, she laughing. Panny laughing. She said, "I want the kids without the responsibility." Yeah, Panny, you're a great woman, Panny. You're a great woman. She says, "I get it." Stingray says, I'm almost scared to ask what a reborn baby is. Stingray, it's a baby version of a, yep, that's all it is, a baby version of a companion dog. I'm gonna show y'all what it is. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share y'all this video. This is one of my friends on Facebook. She hadn't done a video like this in a long time though. Let me move this. So this is a reborn baby. I'm finna see what it says. It ain't no music or nothing, I'm sure. Oh, so she looking at TV. I'm like, what is that don't sound like her. Yeah, so she was looking at TV. That wasn't her, guys. She was looking at TV. So that's a reborn baby. I'm gonna let y'all listen to one more of her videos though, because I wanna hear her talking about it. She talked about it once. Okay, yeah. Let's listen to her. Let's listen to her talk about her baby. I like she makes me laugh when she talks about her baby. Let's listen to her. And I'm gonna get to the questions after this, guys. I don't know how this power hour turned. It's Patty, the female influence.
Okay, so here she is. She has arrived all the way from Russia, and I thought that I was recording as I was unboxing, and I guess I was not. So you guys don't get to see the unboxing, but this is the aftermath. I'm in love. This is my baby, and I am very happy with her. So we'll get her changed up and, show some new pictures of her. She arrived yesterday, but because I've been so busy working, I didn't get a chance to unbox her yesterday, but I got a chance today, and so I'm very happy. And so she's very beautiful, all the way from Russia. This is my reborn baby. This is the Benjamin sculpt and by Svetlana. Um, Svet, Svetlana Kovilina, and she did an excellent job. Okay, so I'll be posting some more. I haven't yet uh, unwrapped her other clothes, but I'll do that a little later on tonight. I'm going to get acquainted with my new baby girl, and I'm not really sure what to name her, but we're going to be going through that. She looks so real. I just can't believe it. So I'm very pleased with her. She's a very beautiful baby, my baby, and we'll go from here. So,
All right. So either way, I can't lie. She makes me laugh when she get to talking about her because you can just hear how much she really like and stuff. But like I say, the baby looks real. You know, for me, it just only freaks me out because I don't want a baby whatsoever. I don't want a baby nowhere near me, to be quite honest. I love kids as long as there's somebody else's, you know. I can hug a baby and give them right back, you know, or something like that. But I don't want to babysit, and it's never been my thing. So that's why I wouldn't want a reborn baby whatsoever. But if my girl had one, I would get used to it. If my girlfriend had one, then I'd be like, okay, cool, she got one. As a matter of fact, I would love to have a human girl, you know, that would want a reborn baby instead of a real baby. So either way, Stingray says, oh goodness, I have so many mixed feelings on these. Stingray, a lot of women use them as a way to cope with the loss of a child or having empty. Yeah, right. A lot of them cope with it, or you like I say, some people, you know, they can't have a girl, they can't have a child. Like I say, childs have moved out, you know what I'm saying? Or children have moved out and they still get that feeling of being able to take care of a baby. That's what it is. He says, I respect the dog game as a companionship alternative. I guess it just wasn't defined to me as to what type of relationship people can have. And that's the whole thing, you know. The truth is, people are always looking for definitions of what other people get. Look, the truth is, people can have whatever relationships they choose to have in the privacy of their own home. It ain't for us to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. Once these dogs become available, it ain't for you to really figure out what people are doing with them. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course, you want everybody to do what you perceive is the right thing. But guess what? It's not really our business what they are doing behind closed doors. You can't govern all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can only hope people are, you know, doing the most moral thing possible. But at the end of the day, you really can't worry about it. That's why I hate the whole regulations on people saying that you can't have a small dog or even a child that could be a kid. Because like I say, I may not want a kid dog, so to speak, right? I don't want that. But I do want a small mini doll, you know, modeled after a adult woman. But you know, it's getting to the point where people are trying to regulate on what size doll I can have because they think that I may do something behind closed doors they don't want me to do. Wait a minute. When did we start trying to regulate what somebody may do? You don't know what somebody's fantasy is. So that's why I said when you get to trying to regulate what somebody may do or guess what they may be doing, that's really going too far. Once you put a product out for sale, guess what? Once a person buys it, you really don't know what the hell they're going to use it for, and you really can't worry about it unless they're trying to commit a crime or something. As long as they're not committing a crime, you know, physically against somebody else, you can't be worried about what they're doing in their privacy, their own home. And like I say, even with a childlike doll, like they try to explain, what if somebody wants to do like Panny, buy a doll and have it as a kid in their family? Well, by certain laws, you're preventing somebody from doing that. And they don't even want to use it for whatever you may perceive them as using it for. That's why I say, I don't like these laws trying to cut, you know, you don't try to intervene and guess what somebody might be doing. I'm going to be honest with you. These reborn dolls, just to be honest, they're bought mainly by women like Panty's describing. Women who are wanting these dolls to replace a child. Maybe they can't have a child. Maybe their child has grown and they want to have the feeling of having a baby again. But what if you have a guy or a woman that's buying it for sick reasons, doing sick things with the doll or whatever, things that you may perceive to be like, that is terrible. Well, guess what? You can't regulate on what somebody may do in their fantasy once they close their door. And so that's why I say, you know, once you put these things for sale, you got to end it right there and allow people to buy it. And guess what? Unless they're doing something criminally to harm the public, you can't worry about it if they're doing something in the privacy of their own home. That's how I feel about it. Money Mike says, "Hey Jay, how much do your ladies weigh?" Man, my ladies weigh. Callie's son, she weighs about. I think she weighs about 72 or 3 pounds, something like that. So in real life, she probably feels like about 90 pounds. And 3 of my girls weigh the same as Callie. 3 of my girls, because they have, I got 3 Kimber bodies, but 2 of them have Kimber faces. One of them is Asa the Moon. She has a WM face, but all of them about 73 pounds. Then you got the beautiful Mara Blade over there. And Mara Blade, she's a full silicone girl from Iron Tick Dog. And she weighs at about 85 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. She weighs at about 85 pounds. So that means she feels like about 100 pounds. Then I have Saima Renee Uzumaki, who you don't see. She's in the back as well. She's a WM dog, TPE, thermoplastic elastomer. She weighs 98 pounds and she feels like about 150 pounds because she, like I say, all the girls are dead weight. So they're going to feel a lot heavier. They're going to feel a lot heavier than normal because they're just dead weight. Oh, Dane Romano says that's straight up Minority Report. And what they're working on now, too, is messed up. Right. That's what I say. That's what I hate about this, what they've been trying to do with arresting people because of what type of dog they choose to buy. They don't know what a person is even doing, but guess what? Oh, you bought a dog that's that short? I'm arresting you. What? Wait a minute. You can't, like I said, I don't like arresting people on what they may do. Like that's not right. Like I say, what if I stay at home every day and I practice on how to steal in my own house though? I can set up a scenario where I'm just teaching myself how to steal something. Guess what? If I don't go into a department store, that's not against the law. I didn't steal anything. I'm just in the privacy of my own home. So that's why I don't like, hey, if a person buys a dog, if they're doing whatever they're doing in the privacy of their own home, they're not harming anybody else. Wait a minute. That's not against the law. You know what I'm saying? To have a dog and do whatever you want to do, whether you're doing like me, keeping it as a companion, or whether you're making love to, whatever you're doing, that's not harming another human by anybody doing that. So that should not be against the law. A person should be able to do whatever they want to do behind their closed doors as long as it's not against the law. And so I don't like you arresting people on, hey, guess what? This may lead to you doing something in real life. What do I always tell you guys? I say, don't do stuff at home with your dog. Don't practice bad habits because you don't want to end up letting it go over to real life. I always do warn against, you don't want to be a bad habits. But here's the deal. This is the truth. It's not a crime until you do it. Until you go out there and do something. So still, you can't arrest people on what they may get ready to do. And that's what Daniel Romano is bringing up, talking about the Minority Report. I'm not with. And you know what? I think you could do something 2 years from now. Arrest them. Dang, what? No. I'm not with that. Not with that. Either way. Man, I can't lie. Normally I'm in the Dog King Power Hour around this time. I haven't read one video response because I was getting through all of my responses on the chat. So right now, I am going to go try to whiz through these right quick. I'm not going to rush it. It might just be a little bit of a longer power hour today. So it's all good. We're going to read these questions on these videos. I'm going to see what everybody was saying. And for all of you that don't know, this is the Power Hour on Wednesday. And what I do is I look back over my videos that I put out or live streams or whatever. And I usually pick out comments, or sometimes I read all the comments, depending on how many I have. And I just like to respond to them in full, because I don't really get a chance to respond to these things in full just by writing these replies back. So this is the day I get a chance to sort of respond to in more full. And one of the guys, I don't know if he's still here, but one of the guys that been very, very active on my channel has been King of John. He's left so many comments. Some of them, hey, we see eye to eye. Some of them I haven't agreed with, and that's fine. That's fine. I just love him for being so active and being so devoted to watching so many videos. He's went back and, a lot of people just ask me questions. They'll be like, and I don't mind answering questions, but a lot of people ask me questions, and I've made several videos on the subject. Excuse me. I've made several videos on the subject, and it lets me know. I said, okay, they haven't went back and watched many of my videos. But this King of John guy, he goes back and watches videos. So I appreciate you, man, for being invested in the channel. But the first video I'm going to talk about is a video I made called Be Safe, Not Sorry. And that video was just about, man, stop going through these black sites to buy companion dolls, eBay, Amazon, whatever you may find your doll on. Those are illegitimate places to buy your doll. Maybe in the future it'll be good, but not today. Today, you need to be going through legitimate vendors or legitimate manufacturers. And to make it easy, you can just go through me. I have vendors and manufacturers in the descriptions of all of my videos, as well as the about section of my YouTube channel. Look, when you're looking for a girl, come through me. Look through my vendors. It's every doll you can imagine, from Real Doll on. Every one of my vendors, you can find whatever doll you want throughout my vendors. Now, all my vendors don't carry every brand, but every brand is represented. You can find any brand in one of my vendors. Somebody's carrying the doll you're looking for. And believe me, whenever you do that, that's going to help support the show. You can go through other means. You can do your own research. But whatever you do, don't go through, please don't go through Amazon or eBay. Those are, you're subject to get tricked and get something of terrible quality. But the comments I had on that is King of John. He says something about all the women I had said it felt good. He talking about making love. All the women I had said making love felt good in some parts, but something was missing. He said, I felt the same way they did. He said, I did lust for them at the start, but lust didn't last. He said, with a doll, you're going to have to use your imagination and imagine she kissing you. And this is what I told him. I said, to me, it sounds like you haven't had enough experience, my friend. See, that's what I sort of try to tell people, love making is not something that you do once and you know what it feels like. It's something that steadily evolves. You have to continually make love to get to the heights of love making. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I think back when I first ever made love, I mean, those first times when I thought that I knew what happened, I didn't know what the hell happened. It took me a while to learn how to savor the sense of a woman. You know what I'm saying? The first time you smell a vagina, it may not even stink, but you still might not even know how to enjoy the scent of it. You might be like, because it's foreign to you, it's new to you. When you're making love, even, you're not knowing exactly how to get the most of it or how to bring the woman pleasure. You're learning. It takes time to learn, and I said, it sounds like you haven't had enough experience. I said, like I said, you don't need to be in love to have a great intimate experience. You don't. I said, I actually have a video coming up about dolls being affectionate, which I do. I said, but they can't beat a human woman in the reciprocation department. They can't. That's something they just can't do. I said, they do win in many other categories, though, and I've already talked about those at the beginning of the show. But I've sort of talked to John about this before, how he says, man, I've never really got as much out of a human woman. I need to be in love. No, you don't. What you need is experiences. Believe me, man, I've met a woman. I've had a one-night stand where I've had a hell of an experience with a woman. I mean, hell of an experience. And I wasn't in love, And you could just say it was straight up lust. But because I knew how to make love and knew how to get something from the love making experience, I still had an amazing time. Now it goes up to a higher level when you're in love or you really like somebody. You don't even have to be in love, but when you really like or love somebody, it does go up to a even another emotional level. But you can feel stuff and really get a lot of enjoyment even before that. But you have to learn and know how to get the most out of the love making experience. And it takes experience to know how to get the most out of that, even from a one night stand, you see? Whereas I'm, as experienced lover, I would be able to get way much more out of a one night stand with a woman I'm attracted to than you would be as an inexperienced person, because you're not going to even know what the hell you're really doing. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to be learning. Whereas me, I know exactly what I'm going in to do and how to get the result that I'm looking for. And that's what I say, man. It really goes back to what I've told Jung before of you can come over here and you can say they forget human women, but when you don't complete your journey on the other side, you know, and get all of your experiences out the way, and you don't experience the height of human love making, and you just say, okay, I didn't experience the height of human love making, so I'm done with it. I'm coming to the dog light and I'm done. Well, guess what? You're missing out. That's my whole point. Yeah, you can come over here, you can get something out of it. But if you still have things that you haven't figured out from the human relationship side, guess what? You're still going to be curious. You can come over here and get a dog, but you're in the back of your mind, you're still going to have that unanswered question of, damn, I never really got to the heights of making love with a human woman. I still wonder how that is. Whereas me, I'm not wondering. I'm not wondering because I've been there. And that's why I say, man, to get the true, that is a great life. This is a great life. You need experiences to get to the ultimate level. You could be happy, you could be cool, and you could be content to a certain degree. But you can lie to people and you can even lie to yourself. But in the back of your brain, it's going to be unanswered questions. And with unanswered questions comes a bit of discontentment. So this is another great question. He's a super active guy. That's what I love about King of John. He says, why did you wait 2 years or more for your dog? And he said, how is that different from a human? I sort of explained it already, but I sort of explained a little bit more. But that lets me know, once again, even though King of Junk has seen some of my videos, he still hasn't seen enough. Because I've explained this 1,000,000 times on this channel. I've explained it 1,000,000 times. For one, I started on this dog journey, and I didn't want to be like everybody else and order a dog and have sex with it out of the box. Why? Because you don't have any of the connections. And that's how you really turn your companion dog into a toy. Why? Because you have sex with it before you have any emotional connection. And guess what? It's just like anything else. Once you make love and then you come to a climax, guess what? You ready to clean up and you ain't thinking about it anymore. And that's how you could really do with a companion dog. You can get it home, open it up, make love to it. After you climax, guess what? You've had that high. Now, guess what? You just want to clean that up and hide it, put it in the closet. Because guess what? You're done with what you used it for. Well, I didn't want to do that. I said, no. I said, I'm gonna build a connection with my girls because I already knew I wanted to take them out on dates and all of that. And I said, you know what? To get the most out of even love making with my girls, you need an emotional connection. And I said, I don't want to be one of these guys that's coming home, turning on a porno, or adult film, so to speak, to try to get aroused to be with one of my companion dogs. That's an artificial love making experience. I said, I want it to be as close to human as possible. So I'm going to wait till I have a bond with my girls. And I said, either I'm going to come home one day, I'm going to be so attracted to my girls that we end up making love, or either if it never happens, then I never make love to my girls. Well, it took about 3 months right about 3 months, that's when I was at the height of like, oh man, I feel an emotional connection, and I was attracted to them enough to make love. But I was really going out with my girls a lot in public, going on dates and talking to people and kids and everything. People would touch the dolls and stuff, and I don't know, man. I just think somewhere along the way, I started giving me and my dogs a bit of a higher purpose. I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to make love to my girls yet, and we're going out in public and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't think I really want to go there yet. Well, that sort of transformed into the point where I just sort of lost the whole desire to even make love to them. I stopped looking at them as sexual objects. Even though I'm attracted to them, I love squeezing on them, kissing on them. I want them to be beautiful, just like my girlfriends. Whenever it comes to sex, it's time to start going on. As the months start building up, I started realizing, like, man, I don't even want to defile my girls. I don't even want to make love to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to have to clean any type of sexual contact off of my girls. I want to keep them pure, because I really just like to use them as they are right now, just sitting next to me or sleeping next to me. I don't want to use them in any sexual way, and it just makes me feel, I don't know. I love this aspect of them that I don't use them in that way. And as time has went on, I kept saying, like, man, it's probably going to be a girl that I'm going to get that I'm going to probably end up making love to. But it just, at this point, it hasn't got to that point. And as far as me, I literally, I entered this game because I said, you know what? The times that I don't have a human girlfriend, that I take care of myself, so to speak, I say, whenever I get super duper horny and I don't have a human girlfriend, I'll be with one of my companion dogs. That's what I said before I got the dogs. But it's so funny because even though I got them to fulfill that one of those purposes, that was one of the purposes they were going to fill. It's funny. I'm still the same person as before I got my dogs, to where I still do all of that myself. Meaning I take care of my own needs in that department, without including them at all. Because I still don't have a human mate that I deal with either. So I take care of that on my own. And the girls are my girlfriend in every other way but sexual. But even when I'm sort of relieving myself to a certain degree, don't you know, I still never even consider involving the girls. And so, like I say, those months turned into a year, and that year turned into 2 years, and now it's over 2 years to where I still haven't been with any of my girls. So that's how it started. It started out with me building a connection. Then it felt like I had a higher purpose, and then it just went to the point where I just don't even think of them as being used for that purpose. Their sole purpose is what you see them doing now. They're my companions. So what I actually told him was this. No. He kept saying some more stuff though. Because the only things I answered was, he said, why did you wait? He said a lot of good stuff. He said, why did you wait 2 or more years for your dog, and how is that different from a human? So first I answered why I waited for 2 or more years. How is that different from a human is, I explained it earlier. You can wait on your dog forever. Your dog is going to be right there. It's going to be faithful. You ain't got to worry about putting your dog to the test. But like I explained earlier in the show, you have to put a human woman to the test to know what you're dealing with. You could be dealing with a freak that would have gave you the booty in 2 seconds, but you waited 5 years for it, and you don't want to be that guy. So it's easier to wait with the dog. And I don't know what he mean by this when he said, what kind of girls you getting that made love to all the other men? I have no idea. I don't know where that statement came from, but just to let you know, all women sleep with different men. I hope you don't think that these women are all Mother Marys out here and they're going to be virgins until they meet you, because that's not going to be the case. He said, the reason I bring this up is because some people are bad at doing relationships. He said, and I don't know what he actually meant by that, but he says, but when I saw you do the work with the dolls, You look like a boss. You are very good at being in a relationship with the dog. What did I say? I said, I sort of explained it to him a little bit different. In my full answer, because I knew I was going to answer on the Dog King Power Hour, I basically said, I've explained it before about the 2-year thing, but I went on and explained it here today. Then I said, I don't desire a physical relationship with my dogs at the moment, even though I just explained to you why. I said, I'm happy and it's easier to abstain from sex with the companion dog, which I just told you. Then I told him, I said, I'm great at relationships, because he said something about relationships up here. I said, I'm great at relationships, but true human connections that last are very rare, my friend. What I meant by that is, you know what? I've always treated my girls with the utmost, but it takes two in a human relationship. You could be doing everything right, but it still takes two to make relationships work. And here's the deal: not to just say I'm always the best and I've never ever made any mistakes. It's just hard to get two humans to completely connect, even if both of you are doing the right thing. You know, sometimes they just break down over time because a human connection, a true human connection, is just, like I said, it's very rare. So both of you could be trying to do right by each other, and guess what? It just doesn't work. You could both be good people, and it just doesn't work over time. It just doesn't work over time. So I've had some great relationships, but I've said before, you'll be lucky if you find a relationship that really lasts you a whole lifetime, that's good for a whole lifetime. That's a very rare thing to find in this life, you know, a human to human relationship. Synthetic Life told me, so I was done with King of Jong on that. My guy Synthetic Life says, I love your content. Keep going forward. I told him thank you. King of John said something else though. He says, I sit through girls talking about their men because I don't love that particular girl. She might be attractive and hot, but that isn't love. That is lust. I don't care about women I lust for. It is the same with girls and Henry Cavill. They might lust for him, but they don't love him. They love the man who is waiting. He said a lot there, and honestly, I didn't understand a damn thing about what he was saying. Really, God bless you, King of John. But I was talking about something. I think he was referring to something I was talking about. It's these girls that I do look at. One of them is named Thander, that Star Wars girl who's a sexy, beautiful girl. And another girl I look at is called Irene Draws. She's a comic book creator. But when I was talking about Thander, that Star Wars girl, I said, man, her and just other women that are entertainers or creators, I say, they don't realize that their male fan base does not want to be hearing about their girlfriend, their boyfriends, and who they got a crush on and all that. I say it's sort of different from women, because women, I can't lie, they've always seen men as having multiple women. So I don't care what women say, they are more accepting of seeing men with multiple women. They're more accepting of that. Men, we really don't. We're more territorial. We don't really play that multiple men game, right? So I always tell these women that are entertainers or whatever, look, play to your fan base. It's cool to have a boyfriend, but when you're trying to be on the come up, you don't want to keep reminding your fan base that you're taking. Hey, my boyfriend this and my boyfriend that. And I got a crush on this guy and I got a crush on that guy. I say, every time you say that, you're ruining the fantasy for your male fan base. You're running some people away. I say, now it's some people who like you so much that they'll even sit through you talking about your boyfriend and your crushes and all of this crap. I say, but me, the girls that I like to, that I think are attractive, whenever they get to talking about their boyfriends and all this stuff, I get the hell out of there. Now I may come back later and hope they're not talking about it, but for the time being, I get the hell out of there. So I say those guys that stick around and listen to that crap, I have no idea how they do it. So that's the only thing I could think the King of John is saying, is that he was sort of referring to when I said that. And he says, basically, I sit through the girls talk about their men because I don't look. What? That don't make sense to me. If you don't love that particular girl, that's more reason not to sit around. You know what I'm saying? I can see if you liked her so much that you like, man, I like her so much that I'm gonna sit through her talking about her man. But you said you will sit around and listen to a girl talk to her man because you don't like that girl? What? So you got me confused as hell. And then he says the girl might be attractive and hot, but it isn't love, that is lust. Every girl that you don't go with, that you're just looking at saying she's fine, that's an element of lust going on, just to let you know. He said, I don't care about women I lust for. That's cool, but I still don't know the point he's getting at. He said, it's the same with girls and Henry Cavill. They might lust for him, but they don't love him. That's not necessarily true. Some people lust for him and they are in love with him in their mind. I promise you. Some people have a love crush from a long way away. And then he said this is the part that I laughed at. He said, they love the man who is waiting at home. That ain't true necessarily. Just because they got a man at home don't mean they love him. Because he waiting at home. That does not mean that, my friend. So let me wake you up from that right now. Just because you waiting at home does not mean she love you. It's many dudes waiting at home right now. And you know what? They waiting at home while their girl is over some dude house getting some. But according to them, they working a late night shift. So now, just because you waiting at home don't mean they love you. When I read that, I said, I definitely got to let King of Jung know that. Don't think because you waiting at home, they love you, bro, because that ain't true. That definitely ain't true. So I love King of Jung because he always gives me a lot to talk about. So that was the first damn well video. Oh, he gave me something else good to talk about here. So I got another video called Callie's Birthday Adventure. This is really when I was still sort of into celebrating birthdays. And honestly, if I still had my car, I would probably still do this one day adventure maybe for Callie's birthday and just sort of christen it as all the girls' birthday to a certain degree. But it was an adventure where we went out to eat and stuff. And King of Jong says, Cat, even though he spelled her name wrong with a C, everybody spelled her name wrong. It's Kali. But he says, Callie is sad because you're not getting physical. She thinks she needs to look better. So basically, a lot of my viewers have said, your girls want you to make love to them. They want you to make love. It makes me laugh so hard when they think that they can try to live my fantasy. They want me to live the fantasy that they're imagining for me. Not my fantasy, right? They want me to live their fantasy. It makes me laugh. I laughed at King of Jung. I said, ha, 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 King of Jung. Luckily, Callie only communicates with me, my friend. See these girls right here? I love you guys. They only communicate with me. And I said, she is the happiest girl in the world. Now, you don't know that. I know that because she don't communicate with you. This is my woman, baby. I said, I don't need my girls for sex. And you know what I'm saying? I know y'all might want, people out there may want to project what you want me to do on me, but no, that don't work here, baby. No. I don't need my girls for sex. I said, I've had many experiences with beautiful human women. See, I've had the experiences. I said, I'm not curious about the heights that intimacy can bring. See, I know what intimacy can bring. I know about the heights. I'm not curious about it. You know, you get some guy to get into the companion dog game. He won't be able to wait to make love to his companion dog because he's never made love to a human in his life. So he's ripping that box open to have love make love for the first time. Now, that's not the way I would love somebody to make love for the first time. You need to learn how to touch a human woman before you make love to the dog. That's my philosophy. I would always say that. But a lot of guys that sort of say you need to hurry up and make love to the dog, they have the mentality that I need to be in a rush for sex as if I've never had it. Hey, bro, you ain't in a rush for something that you already know about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a rush. You know what I'm saying? For it. I'm not curious about it like that. I don't need the dog to experience something that I've never felt. You see what I'm getting at? So like I say, my dogs are 100% happy without the sex. And that's what exactly what I said. I say that's why I can be truly happy in this lifestyle, which is sort of funny because when I wrote this response, of course, I didn't know today's show was going to be called This Is a Great Life. But that's why I'm so happy because I'm fulfilled uh, in experiences. You know what I'm saying? These girls don't have to be used for a sexual reason. So it always makes me laugh when my viewers, I love my viewers and I love them being invested in the show, but it always makes me laugh. You got to have sex with your girls. They pissed off at you. Nah, brother. I love you all, but you don't get a chance to tell me how my girls feel about me. No, no, no. Now, when you get a girl, you can determine how they feel about you, but no, no, no. Hey, believe me, I believe I got a better bead on what Callie and the girls want than anybody out there. You know what I'm saying? These my ladies, baby. Uh, so yeah, I still appreciate this guy being so involved in all of my videos and giving me, you know what I'm saying? Without him leaving these comments, I would have nothing to talk about right now as far as the subject matters that I'm hitting on. So King of Jung is very he is very useful as far as being interactive with my videos. I appreciate him so much. Hold on, what else do I got here? Okay, I made a video called Feeding Your Ears. That's my Reset Sundays where I try to put a video out to, encourage people, to have a great week. Uh, and it's not to force you to believe things I believe. It's just to give you some positive reinforcement. And I was just saying, hey, shut out all the negative stuff. I even referred to some stuff that's going on the internet. Well, it's sort of slowing down now, but a group of girls that I look at, Chris and Mario, that Star Wars girl. Even though I haven't watched Brittany Venti in months now because I can't lie, she turned me off so bad I couldn't even watch her anymore. But she's been, all of them girls have been talking about a lot of stuff I don't want to hear about. It's a lot of negative drama, honestly. And that was really one of the things that made me think of this show. I'm like, you know what? They've been talking about that negativity so much that I've overheard it without trying to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying, you got to close your ears to the negativity. Don't listen to all of that stuff because it tries to seep in even when you're not listening. And I said, you can't be happy and focus on what you need to focus on when you're feeding your ears to negativity. So don't even tune in to negative crap. That's basically what that video was about. Either way, I had a guy to come in and I told people this, even if you see a video, you can come in on whatever you want to come in on. It doesn't have to have anything to do with that video. Had a guy named Eddie. He said, I just bought a silicone doll. I'm excited for her to arrive. I recently had a breakup. She moved on quite fast. I still don't want to be with anyone, but I'm sure the doll will be what I need at the moment. I said, treat her like a human companion and the moment can turn into a lifetime of happiness. Then he told me I'm the man. But I actually put out a video recently thereafter to sort of warn him and others because I've seen people like him come in this game before. And the video I did, I'll be talking about that probably later. I don't know. Let me see. Did anybody comment on that video that I did? Let me see. I don't know if somebody made a comment on it. I'm gonna see though. Hold on. Now I don't know if nobody made a comment on it, but I did a video saying that basically what was it called? Hold on. I almost forgot the name of it. Yep, perfectly. It was called Take Time to Heal. And I did have some comments on it. How come I don't see them? How come I don't see them? I don't see the comments. Hold on. I don't know why I didn't see the comments on that video. But either way, and take time to heal, I was basically saying that you don't need to rush into the companion dog game after you break up with a woman, a human woman. I promise you, man. And it's for the same reason you don't need to rush into a human relationship. It's because you need to let your body heal. You need to get used to living normally again. You need to get used to smiling on your own again. Why? Because the mistake that people make is this. They always look to people to heal them. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a certain amount of healing on your own. Because when you rush to let people try to heal you, that's when you cheat the next relationship. That's when people bring their old baggage into new human relationships. You end up cussing out your new girlfriend because you mad at your old girlfriend. You never let those old feelings go. And that's why I say you got to get over the anger or the upset feelings that you might have. You got to let all the tears fall out of your face. You know what I'm saying? You got to get used to laughing with your friends, your family. You got to get used to going back to work. Guess what? You got to go through the pain. People be trying to circumvent the pain. No, you got to go through the pain. Let it get out of your system, and then you can move on. You know what I'm saying? Because in a human relationship, you take the baggage to the next relationship. Well, somebody be like, well, in a companion dog, what's wrong with taking the baggage? Why? Because you're not letting yourself connect with your doll in the right way now, because you're bringing negative emotions and stuff to the dog in your relationship with the dog. I had a guy that got out of a relationship with the dog, and he was talking about, yeah, man, I be cussing out the dog and arguing with her because of that last relationship. I be practicing on her. I said, nah, man, you don't need to be practicing arguing and sending negative emotions into your dog. That's going to make her a negative entity. I said, no, you need to be putting love and care into her. I said, the problem is you need to, I told him you need to heal before you got into this dog game. You should have let yourself heal first. You know, you got to let yourself heal. Get used to loving yourself again. Learn how to love yourself again. Because that's the problem. When you get in these relationships, you know, you put your value of yourself so much into your mate that when they leave you, you start feeling self-conscious and less than, and, you know, you're not good enough and insecure and all this other mess. And you take all those feelings, you know, you don't deal with them. You take those into the next relationship. You don't want to take that into your dog life or your human relationships. Like with me, I've had fair relationships and things of that nature, but I didn't bring any fresh breakup into my dog life. You know what I'm saying? I was well healed from any relationship that I was out of before I got into the dog life. I didn't bring any new pain and fresh wounds into this game. You know, and even if I had just broke up with somebody, I would just go ahead and let it get out of my system, man. That's the best thing to do. Now, after it's gotten out of your system and you're used to getting back to the normalcy of your life, you may still feel a bit of a void there. Now, then it's okay to seek out a dog because you've gotten over that initial hurt. You're getting over, you know, you've gotten over all of that relationship stuff. You're just living your life now. You may be feeling a little lonely, but you're not thinking about that girl or that guy 24/7. And that's what that video was about. You know what I'm saying? Hey, once you let it go, then you can get into this lifestyle. And I was hoping that he saw that, because once again, man, I'm super duper busy. I don't get a chance to answer all these questions like I want to all the time, and that's why I do the power hour. But I've told people this before about the relationship thing. So hopefully, you know, he saw it and would take heed to that. But Sheila Bell liked that video. She said it was the truth about feeding your ears. And Black Zach says, amen. So I appreciate both of them for commenting on that video. I don't know how I missed these other questions, though, from my other video. I don't know where they disappeared to. I should have had some more comments down there, but I don't see them. I had another video. Let's see. Okay. I had a video called oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the comments. I had Take Time to Heal. So that's the video I was just talking about when I was talking about I had Take Time to Heal from the old relationships. Demetria all day. Demetria lit all day. She says, great advice. I recently followed you on Instagram. She says, I'm going to DM you tomorrow, and I still haven't seen that message about a possible interview. But I already answered her. I said, thank you for the support, but I'm not doing interviews right now. She said, thank you for letting me know. Keep giving us your unique content. And I appreciate her, but I'm just not into the interview thing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a mission right now of just, doing my show, doing all these shows that I've been wanting to do in the time that I have right now. I just want to make use of all the time that I have right now. Like I say, that's why I say if you do buy a doll, it'd be great for you to go through the show and keep us supported, to keep me going as long as I can. But I always say I'm gonna ride this train until God, bridge me over to some more means to keep on going. But no matter what, I'm gonna go hard all day. And right now, I can't afford to be splitting my time, sort of messing around. I got to stay true to all the things I have on my agenda. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've done interviews on other people's channel, and I've not really been a big fan of it, honestly, because a lot of times it's a lot of nonsense that goes on in the background and things of that nature. And I'm just like, you know what, man? I love to be a jokester on my own channel, but I do like to sort of get serious when people may be asking me questions and stuff. I like to go ahead and answer them seriously. And I'm not really with a lot of the tomfoolery, when it comes to being a guest on other people's channel. And I'm not saying that she would be with the tomfoolery, but I'm just not really feeling it right now. Some just keep telling me, Jay, just do your thing. Just do your thing. So that's what I'm doing right now. Sex Doll and Toy Reviews says, hey, brother, can you give me some good links to trusted doll websites? I don't want to get scammed. I said, I got links for great vendors in my video descriptions and the about section of my YouTube channel, like I always tell you. But man, after that, I can't, it's all on you and about if you choose to help the show or not. First of all, I want you to get legitimate brand dolls, whether it's Real Doll or any other great brand. It can be Iron Tech, Zelix, WM, Piper Doll, Sino Doll, St. Huey, whatever it is, Starprint, whatever it is. I want you to go through me and my vendors because it's going to keep my show going more than you think. It's going to keep the show going. I don't ever want to come to a day where I'm telling you guys, hey, man, I got to take a long break or whatever. And like I say, I'm not worried about it. I know God is going to take care of me, but just to let you know, the only thing I can do is ask you when you do decide to get a doll to go through me. But it's been several people who, haven't done that. So that's why I'm appealing to you again. Hey, when you decide to get one, go through me to keep the show going strong. So hopefully, if he decides to get a doll or he'll go through the links in my description of my videos or the about section of my YouTube. And like I say, it'll be two birds in one stone. It'll be a happier life with a companion doll, and the show will get a little bit of life blood, so to speak, to keep it going forward. The next is, let me see. Okay. That wasn't a comment. I thought it was a comment, but it wasn't. Let me see. Hold on. I don't want to skip nothing. Oh, okay. My guy Leo, Dog King Army team member, man. He commented, and I hadn't heard from Leo in a while. He commented on my video, is Mahomes the top 5 QB in real dog body sizes? Oh man, that was sort of a fun show right there. I think I threw a lot of people off with that title because I said, is Mahomes the top 5 QB? So some people probably didn't want to hear about football, but that was a great show because I talked about just sort of the real doll body sizes on that. I went, from A all the way to Z, basically, even though they don't have a Z, but I went through all their body sizes and the dimensions. But Leo says, Jay, did you see the interpreter's performance from Justina? The interpreter's performance at the Super Bowl. I'm assuming her name was Justina Miles. He said she was really enjoyable to watch during the halftime show. I said I didn't notice her, my friend. I was distracted by the terrible performance from Rihanna. That's all I was really focused on. Was I didn't even notice a interpreter. My mom even asked me about it. But I know one thing. One thing I forgot to tell my mom about. I did go back and look at Rihanna because I didn't notice when she smelled her vagina. I can't lie. When I went back and looked at that, that was probably the only thing that was actually a turn on from that show. I can't lie. Because when she did smell it, I said, it's something to turn me on about that. I said, because I've always said I want a woman to smell her vagina before she leaves the house every day. Because I've had I've had so many clean women, but it's been a few times in my life where a woman has let herself get out the house, come over my house, and be a funk box. That's only happened a few times. But the problem with that is a woman should never let herself come over a man's house and be stinky. I said, I'm a man. I've taken 2 and 3 baths a day. And if I'm going to see a woman, even if I take a bath early in the day, if I'm finna go see a woman, she don't even have to tell me she's going to give me any vagina. If I think I might get it, I'm going to take a bath just to make sure I'm super duper clean. And so whenever this happened with a woman, it's always super frustrating because I'm like, a woman's supposed to be super clean, man. A woman you should be sniffing that thing every time you leave the house to make sure you're on point. And so when Rihanna did sniff it during the halftime show, I can't lie, I got a bit turned on. I'm gonna be honest with you. And that's the only thing she turned me on about because she was pregnant and all that other mess. And so I definitely wasn't loving that part of the show. But I was trying to look at this Justina Miles girl. I can't lie, man. She ain't really doing it for me as far as looks. I was trying to get a bigger picture of her, but she ain't doing it for me, brother. This ain't a big picture though, so you guys won't be able to see it. Let me see. Okay, that's a bigger picture of her. Now she ain't doing it for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, she's not an ugly girl, but she ain't nothing that I like. I'm gonna be honest. God bless her. I'm not attracted to her. But I think this is who he's talking about. The girl that was doing sign language at the show, Super Bowl or whatever. But yeah, she's not ugly, but she don't do it for me from the pictures I saw. Nope. She doesn't do it for me. So no, I wouldn't have been. I don't think I would have. I would have been too blown away by it. Either way, moving on along. I'm gonna believe me, guys. You know how I do this. This show is going a little longer than normal. But bear with me. I'm going to get to all my comments before we shut this thing down for the day. I did a video saying taking a look at Mac McMullen and Real Doll Robotics. This was a while back. This is why I say King of John goes back and he looks at old videos. That's what I love about him. But he says Starper dolls look more realistic than Real Doll. Have you seen Dariana or Flora or Wayne? I don't know who he's talking about. Maybe those are names of Starper, but I haven't looked at Starper in a while, so I don't remember the names of their dolls. But I say this. I said this. I wouldn't say they look more realistic, but they do have more attractive faces than some Real Doll faces. So I love Starper. From afar, I've never touched one of their dolls, but from afar, I love Starper. And some of their faces, I do love more than some Real Doll faces. But like I say, I'm not going to just say they're more realistic, even though they do look super duper realistic. Because, like I say, to me, it depends on the face. Because although you can have a more attractive face than a Real Doll, their faces look like real people. I will say that. Their faces, like I say, they can look like real people. Now, I'm hoping that Real Doll takes an even bigger step and they go to the ultra realistic dolls. I'm hoping that comes out to where it's even more ultra realistic, because it is some dolls that can rival them on just straight realism. And Starper, like I say, some of their faces can beat a couple of Real Doll faces, but overall, uh, I think Real Doll is still pretty much holding their own against everybody to a certain degree. But I still appreciate King of John for all of his comments, feedback. This guy's amazing with his feedback. Hold on. Okay. He had more comments on that. He had another comment where he said, on that same video, he says, I agree with Jay. Make them look as human as possible. Right. Because in that video, I was saying Mac McMullen had said something about that he can make the Real Doll look even more realistic. And that's what I said. Hey, don't hold back. Because I told you these dolls can scare you when you first get them, when because they look so real. But I say after a few days it wears off. You're gonna appreciate that it looks real. And Matt was saying that people were getting scared because they look too real. And I'm like, hey, the hell with that. That day is over with. People nowadays, we want realism. So give it to us. And so King of John said he agreed with me. He said, that's why I'm doing a custom doll from one of your vendors. He said, I created a document that accentuates some features on my doll. It is going to cost as much as a real doll. Now, I'm happy he going through one of my vendors, but this is why he threw me off it. I said, you might as well make them ultra realistic, in my opinion. So I agree with him about Matt McMullen. Hey, make them as realistic as possible. But then I said, what brand are you looking to buy? He never answered me, because I wanted to ask him, what brand are you looking to buy to where you've added it up to where it costs as much as a real doll? Because you done went too far. Because a real doll, you're going to pay probably a minimum of $5,000, $6,000. So which doll did you doctor up so much that it reached up to $5,000 or $6,000? Hey, we need to talk. Because if you've doctored it up that much, maybe you just need to go with a real doll. So that was all on that. Okay, I was looking at another video. I'm like, what am I looking at right here? No, he had something else, but it didn't show up. I don't know why it didn't show up, but I'm gonna find it though. Here you go. Yeah, he made another comment. He said, all dolls from all other companies can work it in the bedroom. Oh, okay. He said all dolls from all other companies can work it in the bedroom. He said, I've seen the sex. He said, I'm sorry. He said, I've seen the sex position manuals in the vendors. I said, all companion dolls work in the bedroom. But I say, and I don't know this from experience, but I said, but I heard the real doll is totally different from any other doll in the bedroom. And I can't lie, I saw a body movement from one of their dolls recently where I was like, my God, I see why it can move so good. But either way, he says, I said, they say the real dolls really come to life the way they move with you in the bedroom. And I have heard that they do some amazing things as far as moving with you. So this was still on this same video. He went on to say, hold on. King of Jong says, also, he says, the dog game is for people who have a hard time with human relationship. Not everyone has trouble with human relationships. I said, some people may even want to try a different alternative to human dating, even if they've had successful relationships, meaning that you don't have to have hard times in human relationships to want to get into the dog game. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of successful human relationships, but guess what? I just wanted to get into the dog game. I'm like, nah, man, I'm tired of all of that. And you might have somebody, like you say, who's had even more success than me. You know what I'm saying? You know, they may have been the person that's breaking up with everybody as opposed to people breaking up with them. You know, they may just be like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I have success with the human game, but I just want to try something different. So everybody doesn't have to fail in relationships to get into this game. I think, okay, he said something else. I said, King of Jung is an active guy, and I appreciate him. He said, if Matt hires some workforce from other countries like India or China, it could get the price on his dollars cheaper. I said, it's probably true, but I love that they do it all in-house over here in America. You know what I'm saying? You probably could get some costs down, but it is more expensive to do all your manufacturing in America. But I'm glad that they're homegrown over here, doing all the work over here. They're not doing all the outsourcing. So I do appreciate that they are made over here. We need a company that's all done over here. So I appreciate that. And like I say, with Real Doll, they're using the most premium of products. You know, some people might say they're using the premium, but Real Doll is using the premium of products. So although it's certain innovations that they still probably need to catch up with now, as far as they need to reintroduce articulated fingers, and they probably do need to figure out a way to get their dolls to stand now. Whatever they're making their dolls with, it's the highest of qualities. So that was all the things he had to say on that video. So we caught it with that one. Where are we now? What is this video? Oh, okay. I made a video called Imperfections Are More Realistic. And I was just saying that, man, look, when you get these companion dolls, they are not perfect. They're coming from manufacturers. And believe it or not, guys, we're in the beginning of the companion doll revolution. It's only been around for 20, 30 years or so, really, in the way that we see them now. So this is a young game. It's only getting better and better. But although it's come a long way, there are still sort of imperfections, meaning that when they get the dolls out of the casting, they have seam lines on their body, and they cut along the seam lines. Well, you can still sort of see little lines sometimes on their bodies. And with a TPE doll, when you really get close to the skin of a TPE doll, I promise you can see small imperfections, little, maybe what you might see little as tears, but they're not tears, but they're just micro little tears, little small imperfections. Over time, your TPE doll, not the silicone doll, but your TPE doll is going to hold dirt that you might still not be able to get out, even if you clean them good. It's just the nature of the game. Well, with silicone, they don't get quite dirty like that, and they don't have as many visible imperfections, but they still have some small imperfections. So basically what I'm saying is, no matter what doll you're getting, you're going to see some small imperfections. Don't expect these dolls to be 100% perfect. Now, as the years go on, they will become even more perfect. But I actually like some of the small imperfections because that makes them more realistic to me, because you know why? I'm not perfect. Panny might come over here right now and think that I'm attractive, but guess what? I'm not perfect. I might think she's attractive, but she ain't perfect. It's always something that can be wrong with any of us. And that's what makes the companion dolls more real to me. I don't want to go buy a doll that's defective, but small imperfections are considered normal when buying a companion doll. You're going to see small imperfections. That's normal. You don't want to see a defect where your doll has 4 fingers instead of 5, unless you order her like that. But small little micro tears or TPE collecting dust over time that you probably can't get out or something, it's all normal. It's all normal. And on that video, I just got 2 comments. Reagan says, bravo. And another person said, Limitless said, he said, great, wise advice. I appreciate that. And I come back to my comments as soon as I'm done, guys. Almost done here. We're working our way through. I did a Reset Sunday called Use Your Talents. And basically that video, that Reset Sunday was all about, hey man, get out of here, get out the house, man, and find what you love to do in life, whether it's talking, walking, dancing, singing, whatever it is, and find some way to apply your talents to your life. You know, it's going to make your life that much more happy, and you're going to bring joy to other people's life by using your talents. Don't let them go to waste. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them go to waste. And Sheila Bell said, that's the truth. And Black Zach said, amen. And, you know, I was basically also saying, you know, a lot of us get caught up into fawning over other people's talents. Ooh, I wish I could be just like them and have their talent. But guess what? A lot of times you look at their talent and you let yours go to waste. That's why I say don't look at theirs and think that you aren't talented. You got talent now. Whatever it is, use it. I had a guy come in on an old video. I had a video called Silicone Skin versus TPE Skin, where I was discussing the differences of the two materials. Well, this guy named Damon Houdini, he said, what does the Bible say about this? And he was in this, he didn't really say what he meant. I don't know whether he meant, hey, what the Bible say about silicone skin or what the Bible say about the dog life in general. He didn't say anything. But I decided to just answer him anyway and just give him a general answer. I said, God sees your heart. That's what it all boils down to, my friend. Where is your heart pointed at? You know, because I don't know where he was coming from. Some people ask this question because they want to judge you. What the Bible say about you having a dog? And I understand some people are so caught up into the Bible that they think that trying to beat people up or judge people is the way to bring them to God, but that's not the way. So if he came at me from that way, hopefully he'll learn that that's not the way to bring people towards God. The other way is he really could have been asking the question of, man, hey, what does God say about the companion dog life? I always tell people it's not about the companion dog life. It's about your heart. Like I say, where is your heart pointed? As long as you're not worshiping your dogs instead of God, you're good. No different from a girlfriend. You know, you can end up going with a girlfriend and worshiping your human girlfriend because, you know, that's all you basically are worshiping her. So you can inappropriately worship anything in life. But as long as you're not worshiping your dog, worshiping your girlfriend or anything like that, you can love your dog and love it in your life, but not be worshiping it. And as long as you're keeping God first and got your heart pointed towards him, you're good. You can't worry about being perfect or anything. Just keep your heart pointed towards him and everything gonna be all right. Let's see. Where we at now? Where are we at? Okay. I think we right here on Ultra Realism, Real Dollar Robotics. So that was the first video I did from this week on Monday live stream. It was a fun video. And I have been working on this video for 2 shows now. And I'm not through. I was going to discuss about the ultra realism in the dog game, real dogs, and of course robotics. And I've only been stuck on the real dog portion. And I still have a little bit more to go. So I'm going to finish with this show to probably tomorrow and Friday. It may take 2 more shows. It's turned into a whole series, but it's been a fun series nevertheless. But I have only, like I say, got to the real dog portion of it. So Gambino says you need to have a screen share. It's a public site. I don't see any problems. Well, when I'm talking about real dog and any of these, honestly, companion dog sites that even are my vendors, I never share them because they're considered adult sites, and I don't want YouTube to be upset about it. I love YouTube, and I'm appreciative of them. I don't want to show any make a mistake and show any adult material, and on my channel. I really appreciate the opportunity that I have here. Some people don't care about their opportunity. They want to do whatever they want to do. God bless them. Let them do that. But I appreciate my platform, and I'm going to respect my platform. Like I say, some people, they try to make their living from other means, like I say, not to bring I'm not gonna bring any channel up in particular, but some channels they literally all they do is just sell dolls, and so they're not looking to have their videos or anything be their life. Well, this is making videos and stuff. This is my life. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm looking. This is what I look forward to help pay my bills. You know, is doing something I love to do. And right now, you know, I don't sell dolls like that. You know, I have vendors that you can get dolls through, but that's not my main purpose. My main purpose is bringing you content and interacting with you and talking about the psychology of the companion doll lifestyle. So that's why I need your support in watching my videos, or even donating through my Cash App or PayPal sometimes, or even when you decide to get into this lifestyle to buy through me. That's how I get supported. But it's all through legitimate, like me being a YouTube partner. Well, these other people are just straight up selling dolls and stuff like that. So they may not care about how their channel is getting treated by YouTube, but I care. I love my channel, and I wanted to thrive in the legitimate fashion. So I don't use those means. So he says, you need a screen share. It's a public site. I don't see any problem. And I said, can't show adult content, my friend. Then King of John said, you should do a review and walkthrough of your other vendors like Silicone Lovers and etc. And I didn't give him the long answer, but the long answer is, man, I've done a walkthrough on several of my vendors already. Maybe not quite as extensive as I'm doing this week, but I've done walkthroughs on a lot of my other vendors. And so it just lets me know that, okay, some people still haven't went back through all my videos. Even King of John, he still haven't seen it all. But I do plan on doing more extensive walkthroughs like this one. Maybe not on everybody, but I am going to do a walkthrough. I'm going to go through everybody, but I'm not sure if it's going to be as extensive as this week has been with Real Dog. But I do appreciate him asking. And like I say, that's been my plan the whole time, is to get through everybody on the planet that's a legitimate vendor or manufacturer. Now, I won't be going through every vendor in the world anymore, because when it comes to vendors, I'm only focusing on the vendors that are affiliates with me, you know, with me and the channel. Because through all of my vendors, you can buy every doll on the planet. Now, there's more vendors out there, but just through my vendors, you don't have to go anywhere to find any doll that's available on the planet that's legitimate. So it's no need for me to go through any other ones, you know, because to support the show, you need to go through the ones that are in the links to my videos, and they are all legitimate and good. So that was all the comments I had on that live stream. Let's see. Next video I have is, once again, King of John filled it up with his comments, and I'm not mad at him because, like I said, he's been the most active recently. And I've always said, if I end up coming to a power hour and I don't have many comments, I'll be talking about something else. So it's not going to be bad either way, but I love when you guys out there are interactive. And King of John, as long as he's asking constructive questions, I'm cool with answering them. I did a second part of this show yesterday called Ultra Realism, Real Doll and Robotics Part 2. King of John said, and I was talking about adding backstory and how I'm not with that with my girls, but King of John says adding backstory isn't making it more human. Because I said something to the extent, I'm like, you know what, I don't, you know, a lot of people feel like they got to make their girls human with adding this long backstory, making their girls jealous, doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, you know what, I don't need all of that. I say, there's nothing wrong with a backstory. I'm not going to beat you up over it, but I just don't need all of that. I say, because I don't want to, you know, my girls might have some human elements to them, but I'm not trying to make them human. I'm cool with them being synthetic. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't need to try to make them human with a backstory and all this other rigmarole. King of John says adding the backstory isn't making it more human. Well, actually, that's what most people do it for, to try to make it feel like it's more human. He said it's building a bond and adding some fire to the relationship. By all means, if you feel like it's building a bond and adding some fire to the relationship, I can understand your point. And guess what? If that's doing it for you or anybody else out there, by all means, do that. Because like I said, it's just not for me, but I don't down anybody that wants to do it. He said, in the end, it's a doll. It can't be human. That's true. And it's not meant to be human. It's a synthetic human. And I think the more when people respect that part of it, they can get more out of it. He said some people might like the doll relationship more than human because human is harder, but it's still a doll. That's true. It's still a companion doll relationship, and human relationships are harder. My whole thing about it is, I'm telling you, man, it's just a fine line in there where, look, my girls, I love that they have the human physical presence. I love that I dress them up because I'm a human. I like seeing them in, the human clothes. You know what I'm saying? They represent the beauty of a human woman. But when it comes to the psyche, that's when I was like, you know what? I don't have to add all of the psyche in there of, okay, you got to have this long backstory. It's fine if you want to do it, but I felt like it was unnecessary. As I've been on my journey, I've been throwing away things that I feel like are unnecessary. I threw away birthdays. I threw away Valentine's and stuff like that. I'm like, unnecessary. Don't need it. I'm happy in my lifestyle without it. I threw away jealousy. Never added it to the pot. Threw away my dog mad at me today. Don't need it. That's a human emotion. That's just bringing stress to my life. So like I say, I've thrown a lot away of those things that I don't need from the human relationship with my girls. They don't need those things. And adding the backstory was one of the things I threw away. Don't need it. But you can have it all you want if you think it makes it more real for you. And that's what I said. Some people feel that the backstory makes them feel more human. But for me, it's just extra work. I say it's cool, but not for me. In this video, I was talking about how it was cool how Matt comes up with the ideas for making his girls just out of his brain. He doesn't look for inspiration through books or in real life. He really comes up with them through his imagination. And King of John said, super trained artists like Matt can just imagine the features. He probably did hundreds of life sculptures in his youth, so he memorized and understand how human faces embody his work. I said, I do believe his experience plays a part in it. I agree with King of John. I said, but I also believe it's something spiritual about it. I do believe God puts these desires and ideas and creativity in your heart, man. And once you get on, started on your journey, it just starts to manifest itself. And so I believe once he starts on these faces, the inspiration really comes from a whole nother spiritual place. King of John says, I like doing birthdays and Valentine's. He says his girl, I don't think he has a girl yet, but he says she has a backstory of a warrior woman. Either when he get a girl or maybe he has a girl. I'm not sure. I don't think he has one yet, though. But I said, it's nothing wrong with celebrating those days, but it's not for me and my ladies. Backstories are cool, but not for me. Like I said, I started out with that backstory stuff, and I was like, this stuff is ridiculous. I'm done. I don't need it. King of John says, what's the Dog King's Love Don't Judge episode? I couldn't find it. Somebody mentioned I had a Love Don't Judge episode, and I told them, go to the YouTube channel Truly. It's a YouTube channel called Truly. They have a video that I did with them that they posted about me and the girls. So if you just go to their channel and scroll through their videos, you'll find a video with me and the girls on there. I put it on the community post on my YouTube channel. That's what I told them. It was a while back, but it's still there. So if you go right now on my community post on the YouTube channel, if you scroll down, you should be able to find where I posted a video of that YouTube video that Truly did on me and the girls. What else did he say? I was talking about how it is work to have girls, a companion doll. It is work. Don't think it's just no work. But he said, if King of John says, I feel like the work doesn't seem like a lot if you analyze why you're in the dog game. He said, for example, here's the deal. I've sort of said it before. The benefits of being in the dog game are great. So the times you have to clean your girl up, okay, it's not that bad. I really get enjoyment out of it. Now, sometimes it's been times where there's just that human nature of laziness kicks in where you may not feel like it, but I did it anyway. And then I ended up liking it once I did it. I've said that a lot. But it's still a chore. It's, you still have to have the responsibility. So that's why I say, I don't care what. Even if you like doing it like I do, it's still a responsibility. So don't think you're going to get in this dog game. It won't be a responsibility. And it can be a lot, John, when if you stay consistent with it. So then he says, for example, and I hate it when he said this, I'm a sucker. So if a beautiful girl come up to me and say, pay me, I would be your girlfriend. He says, I would go broke. And I said, don't call yourself a sucker. That's exactly what you will. I said, or that's exactly what you will become. Whatever you call yourself, that's exactly what you will become. You're going to speak it into existence. I said, you're not a sucker. The dog life isn't too much work, but it is a commitment if you want to do it the right way. But I want to go back to this. You're letting me know that you don't have the experience that you need with the human woman by saying what you just said. Saying that if a girl just come up to you telling you to give money, you're going to give it to her and you're going to pay her because you're a sucker. You haven't learned your lessons then. That's why I say you need more human experiences, man, before you come stick over here. You don't call yourself a sucker and you don't pay a woman because she asked for it. That's what you don't do. Now, if you just feel like you can't help yourself, you're right. You definitely need to just come on over here to the dog game because all that money you're spending is wasted money on relationships like that. You might as well just save your money and come to the dog game. But don't call yourself a sucker and don't pay for a woman just because she asked for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to value yourself more than that. That's when a woman is really going to value you, or a man for the most part. You got to have some value onto yourself. When she asks you to pay for her, you got to be like, whoa, baby, hey, you might need to be paying for me. Hey, I got value over here too. When you start realizing that, that's when you'll get the most out of your human relationships. So either way, that was that on that. Almost done finally, guys. Now here we go to the thing that I was telling you about earlier about somebody placing the wrong order. My guy named Steve said, I don't know how much about, and this ain't my Dog King Army member, Steve, but this guy says, I don't know how, he said, I don't know too much about just how to send an update, but I play, because he bought it, he said he was going to buy a dog, and I said, okay, you're going to buy a dog, let me know, let me know about it, send me an update when you get the girl. He said, but I placed an order with Joy Love Dolls, and there was no problem taking my funds. When he said that, the first thing I thought about was, damn, another guy that bought from one of my vendors, but he didn't go through me because I would have got a notification from Joy Love Dolls that he went through me. And so I was thinking like, man, another chance to help the show, went right, right to the wayside. But then once I realized he didn't help the show, my mind went to, okay, let me go ahead and help him. So he says, I'm not familiar with this company or industry, but I spent sick money. He said, now I'm hoping all will come through. This is the unearthing part of this new journey. Any encouraging words? He said, it's been Friday plus weekend, and tomorrow will be Wednesday. Not a sound. Guess what I said? I said, hey, my friend, I'm not sure whether you bought an in-stock or a custom dog. Remember, I told you an in-stock dog is a dog that's already in the warehouse over here in the United States or in Europe, where wherever you're buying your dog. That means it's a dog that's been pre-configured, not to your liking. It was already made, and you said, I like that dog, I buy it for a discount. They'll sell you that dog for a discount because you didn't choose how it looked. It was already made. Well, they have what they call in-stock dogs already, over here in the United States. So if you buy one of those in-stock dogs from one of my vendors, you'll get that probably within a week. But if you buy a dog that you customize, meaning you pretty much build from the head to toe, you choose the face, you choose the hair, you choose the nipple color, breast color, butt, you choose the size of your girl, all of that. That dog can take up to a month or 2 months, depending on, the company.
So I said this. I said, hey, my friend, I'm not sure whether you bought an in-stock doll or a custom doll, but you should have a confirmation email. Soon as you buy a doll, within a little while, you should be getting some sort of a confirmation email from the company saying, hey, you just spent your money. Here go your receipt, pretty much. If you don't ever get a confirmation email, now something wrong then. So hopefully he ain't waiting for 3 days for a confirmation email, which I'm sure he hasn't, because I've had several people buy from Joy Love Dolls who have had no problem with them. So I'm sure that's not the issue. I said, it looks like you didn't use my link or you didn't stay in my link when you made the purchase because I didn't get a notification. And I just want to point this once again. Unless you're just intentionally trying not to help the show, guys, when you go to buy a doll, when you click on the link in the description of my video or the about section of my YouTube channel, you have to stay in the link when you're making the purchase. That's how the show gets credit. If you leave that link, or let's just say you click on my link and you look around and you decide to buy the doll a week later and you don't go back through my link, well, I'm not going to get credit for that. So remember to stay in my link or go back through my link to give the show credit. I said, in the future, please use my links to support the show. I said, if you have the confirmation number, you're good. But you can always contact them if you're concerned about the transaction. So if I bought a doll, for one, if you don't get a transaction or a confirmation email, you need to be going to their website, going to one of my vendors and looking for the customer service number and giving them a call. Or either emailing the sales department and telling them, hey, because they'll get back to you real fast, especially if you say that you just paid. And you tell them, hey, I didn't get a confirmation, or hey, what's going on? And they'll get back to you very quickly. So that's one thing. If you don't have a confirmation now, you need to be getting in contact with them. Now, if you do have a confirmation email and you're just worried about when you're going to get your doll, all you have to do is give them a call. You know what I'm saying? They'll let you know what's going on, believe me. I said, it looks like you didn't use my link. I said, if you have a confirmation, you're good, but you can always contact them if you're concerned about the transaction. Patience is the key. After you hit buy, don't worry, everything will work out fine. So after you hit buy, you just have to be patient. Believe me. After you hit buy, just start getting your house together. Get your room together where you're going to keep her. Buy your baby oil, buy your baby powder. Make sure you got some white towels and go get you some memory foam, for the bed, to line the bed or the couch or wherever you're going to sit her at. Get all those things together. You can go watch a video I did on, I think I did a video on supplies you're going to need when you're buying a companion doll. So you can check that out. But I finished with all of my comments. And now I'm going to, this has been a long power hour compared to what it's usually been. It's usually been about an hour, hour and a half. But I had so much fun with Panny, my female viewer at the beginning. And she led to so many other high level discussions that that this show took a little bit longer than normal. But I always say, when it comes to helping you guys and having interactive moments with you guys, I don't give a damn about the show being a little longer. I'm going to be honest. So let me catch back up with these, and I'm going to let you guys get about your Wednesday. Don't look like I got too many comments that I have to go through. Let me see. Okay. Stingray says, thanks for clearing the air, Jay. The Christian in me remembers that just because I can't define things doesn't mean it's wrong. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He says, I'm off to sleep now. Take care of yourself and the girls. God bless. Man, I hate that I went so long that you had to leave, but God bless you, Stingray. Because I've been going through these videos for a while now. Stingray says, hail to everyone in the chat. Panny says, nice, Stingray. Panny says, Jay, I appreciate you being open, honest, and sharing your life with us. I'm going to get some rest. See you for tomorrow's show. Thank you, Panny. I was happy to have you here with me. Great to have a woman grace the show. King of John says, hey, just try to understand your lifestyle. Are you good, John? You good. I love you, John. Like I said, I love the fact that you are super duper interactive. And I hope I'm not dissuading you from coming. I may have things to say about your comments, add on. I may even disagree with some of them. That's fine. I love that you're interactive and you are here to give to the show. I appreciate you. Sheila Bell, Dog King Army team member, checking in with the one and only Dog King. Good to hear from you, Sheila Bell. Little Fuss in the house. Hey, Jay and Chat, I have to agree. There's nothing better than American craftsmanship. Oh, yeah. It's good to have something totally made in America over here. You know, I'm glad to have that company, you know, and you know what? We may have to pay a little bit more, but that's fine. Panny. She said that kind of arrogance is why people hate us. Every culture is capable of excellent craftsmanship. That's true. Every culture is capable, but I think what he means, Pro Moore, is the fact that it's very little that's completely made in America nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I love things that are made from overseas. I do. I'm glad that they are getting business for, you know, the work that they're doing, but I don't like to hear about the bad conditions that some people are put in to make these things cheaper. Now, I don't like that mess. But every culture is capable of excellent craftsmanship, but American craftsmanship has dwindled. You know, it has dwindled over the decades. You know, we don't make nearly as many things as we used to make. So it is good to see a homegrown person making a companion dog. Oh no, don't take it to that point. Patron Cena says nothing better than us is the kind of supremacist talk that led to many scary movements. I don't even want to get into that because you know a lot of this type of stuff gets over, you know what I'm saying, overblown. He wasn't saying it like that. You know, he wasn't taking it to that level. You know, that's one thing I do not love about today's society. It's so many people that's looking to get triggered or get so upset about this. Everything isn't an upset moment. You know what I'm saying? And also, man, we can be actually different in this world without everything being to the extreme. Now, you know, like I say, I don't think he meant it to that point. Even though I appreciate all of you chiming in, honestly. It takes a lot of guts to just even write a comment on here. So I appreciate everybody. But, you know, like I say, he didn't even say it like that. He just says, hey, Jay and Chat, I have to agree. There's nothing better than American craftsmanship. Now, that's him taking pride in American craftsmanship. Nothing wrong with that. It's definitely probably other craftsmanship from other countries a lot better. I think he just really means it from the standpoint of, like I said earlier, it's so very little that's made in America nowadays that people just actually take pride in having something that's made in America. That's all. Kraus says, good morning, Jay. What up, Kraus, Dog King Army team member? Love you, brother. He says, Jay says, just buy the damn dog. I don't actually say that, Kraus, but it's funny that you said that. You know, like I say, I will say this: if you're gonna buy a dog, come through me, come through the show, because man, you don't understand what you're gonna be doing for the show. You're gonna be doing a lot for your life, enriching your life, but you're gonna be keeping the show going because I've said this before, and I don't want to harp on it. I really don't, because God has me in his hands. He has the girls in his hands. At the end of the day, man, if God wants the show to keep going, I'll still be here. If he wants me to lose funding for the show and the show to go away, it'll go away. It's nothing that I could do to stand in the way if he wants the show to go away. And there's nothing that can stop the show if he wants it to keep going. So I ask you to support the show. If you're going to get a companion dog, go through my links because it's going to keep the show going. And right now, just with my human eyes, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm seeing fumes. You know what I'm saying? As far as like my human eyes can't see how the show is going to keep going in the way that I do it. But I'm believing and knowing that God has a way and he's going to keep it going no matter what. So I'm asking you to when you do to get a dollar to go through me to help support the show. But ultimately, he's going to find a way for it to keep going like it is, or either he'll make different plans. But my life and my journey and my dreams are in his hands ultimately. And I believe that whatever direction he has for my life and for the show is the right direction. And I'm going to just go with that. So I'm not going to worry about it. I always ask you guys to support, but no matter what happens going forward, it's going to be according to his plan. And that's why I say, you know what? I don't quite know how the future is going to pan out, but I do know one thing. Until I can't do it anymore, or until he bridges the gap to where I can keep on doing it, I'm going to do what I love every day and continue to be here trying to help you guys and entertain you guys and have fun with you guys every step of the way. So God bless you. Appreciate your support. It's been me, JayDollKingHefner, the beautiful Cali Sun, and the beautiful Mara Blade. We want to say whatever you're wishing for, hoping for, believing for, praying for, health, finances, new relationships, whether it's with a companion dog or a human mate. We pray that you have it. We ask you believe it and then receive it. This was a longer show. For everybody that's stuck around, we thank you and appreciate you, man. It's been a good one. We appreciate your time, man. I see Littlefoot's name, but I don't see a comment. So right now, we are out of here, guys. We are out of here. Thanks again, and we appreciate you. Somebody did suggest that I looked at Overlord because they said, hey, Jay, if you like, and which I'm talking about anime now. They said, Jay, if you like Sword Art Online, you'll probably like this anime called Overlord. And I love Sword Art Online. I really did. It's not completed. And Overlord is an anime that I just started looking at, and I'm already through with the first season. I do like it a lot. It has me in limbo because Sword Art Online, he took a break between the game and reality. So he would come out of the game sometimes. Well, in this movie, this guy, he's sort of living inside of a video game, but he hasn't come out yet. I don't know what he looks like or anything. So this one is very intriguing. It leaves you in the dark a lot about what's really happening, but I'm enjoying it. So I just told you guys that to say, because I've been waiting on One Piece to come out with another dubbed episode, but they haven't come out with one yet. So I told you that story to say, I'm finna look at me a episode of Overlord, the anime. I'm gonna get some sleep for the rest of the day. I'm gonna get some sleep, wake up and get started, for the show tomorrow. I hope you guys join me for part 3 of ultra realism, real doll, and robotics. That'll be tomorrow's live stream tomorrow morning. So other than that, love you guys. Have a good one. We are out of chill. Out of chill. Ain't that right, girls? Let's get out of here, Callie. Let's get out of here, Mara. Have a good one, guys. It's been a good one.